shook and grown. Disobedience turned their hearts to stone. Rejected the truth, lost in the zone. Now they're paying rent in Hades' bone home. Those crackheads, no shelter in the night. Underworld gates, that eternal fright. Denials echo through torturous flight. Only face facts could have saved their plight. Lightning crack, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Zeus truth, or face the dole. Charon's boats, too full to float. Whales of the foolish on the underworld note. Denied Olympian decree, now they tote. Eternal chains, no antidote.
Greetings.
Gods convene, truth unseen. Demigods whisper, lost souls scream. Follow the path or drown in the stream. Zeus wrath, a cruel dream. Dreams of torment, echo loud. Lost in sulfur, desperate proud. Zeus watches from Olympus' cloud. Rejecting truth, their fates avowed.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what it is. It's so lovely to see all of you. Seriously.
Convene, no way back. Lost souls on brimstone track. Ignorance, gotta pay the toll. Or face the dole. Charon's boats,
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
foolish on the underworld boat.
You know what we came here to
Decree, now they don't. Eternal chains, no.
do. Alright, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we're here to do. Welcome to Tacking. Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you. Alright, ladies and
Don't be
gentlemen.
wrapped up in your
Welcome to
feelings
the
and be
show.
careful when you flash it. But when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here
Good morning,
being saucy.
Selena. Nice to see you. Small Pockets.
Have my coffee. Don't be wrapped
Why don't
up
you
in
just
your
sit your
feelings
special
and be
behind
careful
down and
when
listen to the
you
special
flash it.
broadcast, alright? Good morning, everyone. Meredith, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning, Maddie. Good morning, Ange. Alright? Don't worry, we'll take care of that. Izzy, good morning. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, tap that screen. Share the live, because we got a lot of work to do, alright? Alright. Let's go ahead and get rid of the music. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Once again, I am back. I'm your host. I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are here. We got a lot of work to do in order to save this great country of ours from these evil, sadistic individuals that are currently running the country. But before we get into that, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is, well, because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. All right, you're not going to find anybody more honest than me. The second H is because I'm humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. That's how humble I am, all right? And the last and the final H, Queen Flea, you've guessed it, I am and will always remain the most handsome. Eric, you know that too, right? Many of you know exactly why we are here. Someone has to do this work, which is holding these people. I used to say they were my friends on the right, but after this election, you're not my friends. I don't know what to say about you, but we got to hold these people accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds, as well as their crimes. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, it just seems like every single day we wake up, this person running the White House, President Sadist, that's what I'm going to call him, President Sadist. He's just doing whatever he thinks of in his mind to violate our Constitution and to violate the laws of our land. And his supporters continue to stand right behind him while he does it. And so what I got to say is this. Any of you out there that voted for Donald Trump, I'm going to give you an opportunity today to get on out of here before this show ruins your morning. It ruins your breakfast. It actually might ruin your life. I don't care. You might want to leave this live right now because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable. These are real conversations with real demons, all right? And it's designed to be this way so that people in this country will wake up and hopefully get out of that cult, all right? So if you don't want to be a part of that experience, you know exactly what to do. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make sure everyone here knows, especially to my Latin brothers and sisters, feel free to send Big Zeus a guest request, because what I want to do is make sure you get the exposure you need. I'm talking to the ones that voted for Donald Trump, all right? If you didn't vote for Donald Trump and you voted for Kamala Harris, don't worry, you're good, all right? You'll be fine. But to the Hispanic people out there that voted for Donald Trump and are now placing themselves in danger, placing their relatives in danger, because you know what they thought? Oh, they thought Donald Trump was lying when he was promising to do all of this stuff he's currently doing. Those are the ones that I want to come in the box. Make sure you turn on your camera so that we can identify. And if you don't mind, drop your location, because we want to make sure ICE knows where you're at. Right? We want to make sure ICE knows where you're at. That way they can come pay you a visit and make sure you're here legally, all right? Because look at what ICE is doing right now. They're just randomly going after Americans and immigrants, all right? If they think that you don't belong here, they're not asking questions. They're out here raw, like that one lady said yesterday. So congratulations. But you know what? I want to make sure we get this brother out here, because this is a real person. I played it yesterday, but I want to make sure we get him on the record again, because this is what I want American people to understand. You're going to think you're sending these people back. You're going to think you're sending them back once they get on those military planes and Donald Trump got rid of them. These people are adamant about coming back. They're adamant about coming back, MAGA. Okay, so imagine how much money it's going to take to send these people there, and then when they get there, they're going to come back, and then you got to try to track them down again, and then you got to send them back, and it's just a vicious cycle. Think about all the taxpayers' money that's going to take to keep this going.
Mr. Trump, me wanna say thank you to you for deportation me to Mexico and give me 1 week's vacation. My boss never give me. Thank you for deportation me back to my country. 1 week I be back in US. Okay. 1 week I be back. My buddies over here, they give me my buddies from the CARTEN.
He can spell.
They give me these. Look.
Yeah.
I be back 1 week.
What are those?
Look.
More fake documents to come back into the United States.
My buddies give me this passport.
Awesome.
You know?
So shout out to this brother that's gonna he's gotten deported, and he said he's coming right back to make Donald Trump and all these ICE agents work 3 or 4 times as hard. That's what I like to see, wasting America's tax-paying money going after things like this. So what I'll do is this. Congratulations, MAGA. You played yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire, because this is the first round of booze and shame. This goes out to all the Trump supporters out there that think mass deportations is going to fix all of their problems, only to realize it's just a vicious cycle at your expense. Let's give them a huge round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
As far as I'm concerned, you all can go straight to hell, all of you Trump supporters. Look at what you've done to this great nation of ours. You have people literally afraid to go to work right now. Supply chain shortages. You know, they're not getting as many agricultural produce. One guy said he's supposed to pick up 100 pallets full of produce at one of these locations he does, you know, because he's a trucker. And he goes, I go there now, and there's only 13. There's supposedly 100. There's only 13. We are heading towards a serious food shortage, ladies and gentlemen. The cost of groceries are going to continue to go through the roof. Has anybody seen the egg prices lately? Has anyone seen what the price of eggs are these days? Are they going down? I'm just curious. Are egg prices going? I'm not talking to those of you who grow egg, who have farms and you can, get your own eggs from your hens. I'm talking about those of us who have to go to the store, the grocery store, and pay for this stuff. It's not going down, it's going up. Has Donald Trump, hold on. Has Donald Trump actually signed an executive order saying, I hereby mandate egg prices stay at 99 cents? Has he signed such an executive order? Since he's an executive order guru. Has he signed such an executive order? No. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your bottom line. All he cares about is being a sadist, a sadistic, evil person. What kind of person gets off on making Americans suffer? Wow, I just can't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. So, the question that I had is, at what point will MAGA actually say, you know what, Donald Trump, we've had enough, and they'll open up their eyes? And as far as I'm concerned, we got a long way to go. For instance, I got another story. This is a Trump voter, and what happened is ICE snatched up his wife and deported her back to Venezuela while they were in the, quote, process of getting her papers done. Listen to what he says about this, all right? Because this is exactly why we got to do shows like this, because this is somebody that's what I call a glutton for punishment. Let's go.
Turn off cameras, excuse my language, and then they took my wife.
This man, who wished not to be identified, says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here. This video, only 1 minute and 52 seconds long, we do not see his wife being removed from the home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything was good. He just came and they snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
I get a chance to talk to you, man. Yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
ICE reports nearly 1,000.
So his wife has been deported by ICE. He voted for this, and he says, this is embarrassing. Can we work something out, Mr. President, while you're at golfing and my life is in complete shambles? Could you and I at least work something out? Newsflash, champ. He's not going to work anything out because you don't fit the profile of what he's looking for. You don't got enough money in your pocket, number one, but your complexion is throwing him off. It's throwing off his golf swing. But this is the situation y'all have found yourselves in. I know deep down inside, he feels like a fool. Imagine, ladies. Imagine the woman that got deported by this maniac, her husband, or not her husband. You know what she was. Honey, the person that I was running around the house telling you should be the next president, believe it or not, he's the reason that you've been returned back to Venezuela. Don't you still love me? Don't you still love me? I voted for all of this, and you should respect me because obviously I'm a very intelligent guy, right? You see what I just did to our relationship. I pretty much just nuked it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what Zeus has been talking about. You folks out there for the last 4 years who were crying about President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, you know what they used to say? Who's running the country? His handlers. It seems to me like at least Biden was allowing you to live your life and he wasn't doing all of this crazy stuff. He didn't have y'all afraid to show up to work, and this is what I'm saying. A lot of you guys are just ungrateful individuals because of the wickedness in your hearts. And so what I'll do is this. Sir, your wife isn't coming back. And if you don't zip it, you might be next. All right. And we don't know if you came from Venezuela. You may have came from another Latin country now that I think about it. So guess what I'll do? Sir, this goes out to all of you who voted for Donald Trump and at the same time voted to ruin your life. What I'm going to do is warm up the lake of fire. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, The lake of fire is necessary because I do believe a majority of these people, they might be great people, but when that MAGA demon starts to run wild like it does, these are some of the most evil, sadistic individuals you'll ever come across. So let's purge the MAGA demon out of this person. Let's give him a huge round of booze and chain.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it? Which one is it, MAGA? Let me repeat it again. Which one is it?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it? Which one is it? No, Dr. Moto. I'm very serious. I'm so serious, I'm almost breaking out into a sweat right now because of the anger that I gotta contain. This is serious stuff that's going on. These are serious consequences, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Because a bunch of fools who hated Kamala Harris and President Biden went out there and literally voted for their own demise. And they refused to actually come up in the box, especially my Latin brothers and sisters that voted for Donald Trump. They refused to come up in the box and explain why they did it, where they're located, all right? Okay? And, you know, their immigration status, they refuse to do it now. And you guys can try to hide behind all of this FJB gear because you know they're out here, you know what I call it? Trying to blend in like chameleons. They're out here trying to blend in. Oh, I'm a Trump supporter. I went to the inauguration. I got Trump gear. Do not deport me. And guess what ICE is going to do? They're going to come deport you. They're going to come deport you anyway. All right. Now, there's another issue that's going on, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And you know, they say, Zeus, you're a race baiter. I'm not a race baiter. I'm a real person, and I just want to have real conversations. And if you're getting triggered by the way that I'm running this show, maybe you didn't hear me at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Oh, Nicholas Rodriguez! You want to come up here and talk to Big Zeus? Oh, Nick, come on up here. I love it when they get in here and they demand to talk to Big Zeus. Fair enough. Let me see how I can get Nicholas Rodriguez up in my box, okay? Because I'm assuming you voted for Donald Trump, Nicholas. Nicholas, please identify yourself. Send me a guest request. I can't find you right now. Put a 1 in the chat, Nicholas. I'll get to you. Yeah. I would love to hear Nicholas. And you know what I think of now? Yesterday we had a Trump supporter trying to get in the box and explain the economy. So now I'm going to have to come to this new level of, what I want to call of being diabolical. We have MAGA experts. There's MAGA experts out here. And you know how you know they're good? They're experts because when you start talking to them about things like the economy, their eyes start doing like this while they're trying to explain to you what tariffs are. You got to watch this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I went back and I looked at this. I said, man, you're supposed to look me in my eyes when you're trying to lie to me and make me feel like I'm going to have a good time. You shouldn't be doing all of this stuff. And, you know what? You got to talk about the eco terms and then the tariffs and then the border patrol. But then when you whip it around like this and then you flip it and then you come back, it's all going to work out. That's how they do it. Nicholas Rodriguez, please. Nicholas, please. Where'd you go? You were all that talk in the chat, and I would bring you right on up here, all right, so we can get this straightened out. Nick Rodriguez. All right, Nick, are you there? Oh, the one with the social security number. Send me a guest request. I'll bring it right on up. Don't worry. We'll take care of you. We will lower your taxes. We will drill, baby, drill. All right. But in order for us to do that, you got to be honest. I guess Nicholas Rodriguez definitely, he realized I don't want to get in Zeus's box and he's going to ask me serious questions. Nicholas, where are you from? Nicholas, put it in the chat. You're in the United States. Great. What part of the United States are you in? What state are you in? Oh, I'm in Texas, Houston, Texas, because you know that's where they're all going to say. Okay, Nick, great. Now, why don't you turn your camera on and tell us all what your immigration status? And Nicholas said, you know what, Zeus? I got other things to do. Congratulations. Congratulations, Nicholas. There's one other serious matter that I want to. Fuel prices keep growing up. Oh, Tiny. I'm not crying, Tiny. And if I were you, Tiny, you know what, Tiny, you're gonna make me go to my next part of my show, and then I'll open up the box. All right, this is serious, folks, This is serious stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go to the next part of evidence that I want to enter into the record. And all of this evidence that I enter into the record, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm doing is, first of all, we're helping these Trump supporters understand that, okay, Baja Life. All right, hold on, Baja Life. You said put me on. Come on up here real quick if you don't mind. I invited you, Baja Life. Come on. With a name like that, how could I resist? How could I resist? Greetings.
Greetings. Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. You voted for Donald Trump?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, well, listen, I want to talk to a Trump supporter, all right? All right,
Wait a
because
minute.
that's what this is.
I'm an aftermath of Trump.
What does that mean?
I got deported.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, but it's not that bad.
When did you get deported?
I got deported about 8 months ago.
Oh, well, then that was under the Biden administration.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
just all the people that are listening to you, it's not that bad. Mexico. If you're working in the U.S. and you work in Mexico, you'll get along.
What were you doing in the United States prior to getting deported?
I was working. I was working for
What crimes did you commit?
possession.
Oh, then that'll get you deported, right? That's something we can't have that. We can't have that. All right. So what do you think about all of these mass deportations before I go back to what my content was about? What do you think about all of this? You think it's just, we should continue doing it?
First of all, I think they should find a legal way.
You think they should find a legal way? Or are you saying you should find people that are coming into the country should find a legal way?
And the Latino community generates in the United States. It's way, way beyond our. No, everyone should find the United States should find a legal way.
Yeah.
Yeah. To.
Well, listen, there's a lot of delay, but what I'll do is this, Baja Life. Thank you for coming up here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Baja Life. And what at least I respect about that is he acknowledged that while Biden was in office, there were deportations going on for people who were actually here breaking the law. So what we'll do is say W's in the chat for President Biden. Baja Life, thank you so much for that story. But once your connection gets stable, we might need you to come back up here and help some of those who are on the verge of being deported. Help them understand what to look forward to, because I would love to know. Now, Tiny, I don't know if you're here. Darren, Tiny, all right? I wanted to share something with you, all right? This is something your daddy, your dear leader, is doing, all right? And this is out there, all right?
Announced a sweeping freeze on all federal grants. Funds are with the Trump administration announced a sweeping freeze on all federal grants. Funds already approved by Congress.
So Donald Trump has freezed all federal financial assistance. Y'all heard about this? This is serious stuff.
Chief Washington correspondent John Carl is tracking Trump's executive action. John, the administration says this is just a temporary pause, but it could have major consequences.
George, look, there is a lot of confusion this morning about what exactly this directive means, but it may be the most far-reaching executive action this White House has taken yet. It could potentially halt hundreds of billions of dollars in federal spending on everything from assistance to farmers to Head Start programs to disaster relief and public transportation. In a memo describing this, was obtained by ABC News, the White House Budget Office has ordered all federal agencies to cease any financial assistance if they believe the program might conflict with President Trump's executive orders. The directive is not specific about which programs would have to be suspended, but it's clearly far-reaching. It says, quote, this memorandum requires federal agencies to identify and review all federal financial assistance programs and supporting activities consistent with the president's policies and requirements. The only thing explicitly not included in this is Medicare and Social Security and anything directly given to individuals. But George, this is far-reaching. The Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer responded, one of many responding overnight, saying Congress approved these investments. They are not optional. They are the law. And you described it as a pause, George. It's important to point out this memo does not say how long the pause will last. There's nothing specifying when the pause is over.
You hear that, MAGA? The pause. So he's just going around doing whatever he wants to do. Have you all had enough suffering yet, you Trump supporters? You suffered enough yet? What could be affected by this? Let's talk about it. Essential services such as healthcare, education, and public safety could face significant disruptions. All right. What else? Research and development. Federal funding supports a wide range of research initiatives, including medical research and environmental studies and technological advancement. Halting this funding would slow down the progress of these critical areas. What about our infrastructure? Projects related to road construction, public transportation. Oh, Joseph, you want to talk to Big Zeus? Come on up here, Joseph. You say I'm crying? Come on up here with your, how many followers? 1,500 followers. Come on up here, Joseph. I sent you an invite. I know you won't do it because you know I'm right. So, projects related to infrastructure such as road construction, public transportation, and utilities, they could be delayed or canceled. And this could affect economic growth and public convenience. Any MAGA experts out there would like to weigh in on this stuff? What about our education? Oh, these federal grants and loans for students would be affected, making higher education less accessible for many individuals. Oh, yeah, we got to keep them not that intelligent so that Donald Trump can keep manipulating them. All right, this is some sick stuff. Or what about our national security? Oh, funding for defense and homeland security would be reduced, potentially weakening the country's ability to respond to threats and to maintain our national security. So he wants to pause the funding, but then they need funding to do mass deportations, right? They need the funding to send those militaries aircraft to all of those different places, right? So what this shows me, ladies and gentlemen, is that Donald Trump and his administration are the most incompetent, and if you ask me, it's dangerous what they're doing, right? It's fiscally irresponsible. Libs love spending other money. Keith, come on up here, Keith, if you don't mind, Keith. I doubt Keith will do it, but guess what I'll do? Keith, this is for you. Tiny, this is for you. And this is for everybody that voted for Donald Trump. All right. And the question is, how much more suffering will it take before you all realize someone needs to tell him enough? All right. And make him stop. But you won't do that because this is your daddy. You can't tell your daddy you had enough because you know what'll happen. So what I'll do is this. I'm going to warm up the lake of fire. All right. What this shows me is Zeus is nothing but brainwashed. Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do? I might be brainwashed, but I'm about to fire baptize you into the lake of fire. All right, Truth Seeker Forever One. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send this guy or whoever this is, Truth Seeker. Let's send Tiny. All right, and let's send the rest of these Trump supporters straight to hell. Let's give them a huge round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Priscilla, no, I prayed for my president. I love my president. Priscilla, okay. Priscilla, why don't you come on up here and talk to Big Zeus, if you don't mind, Priscilla, because I would really love for us to get to know who you are and where you're located in terms of, you don't got to be specific, but we want to know how you got to this state of delusion, Priscilla. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, you see what Priscilla did, right? She doesn't want to get up here and reveal. She doesn't want to get up here and embarrass herself. So Priscilla, I'm just going to assume you're a bot. Mods, you know what to do with Priscilla, right? Put her in a straitjacket because we can't have her in here polluting my chat with her lies. And she looked like she could have been a woman of Hispanic descent. So that explains to me that Priscilla knows she doesn't want to come up here and get exposed and then have ICE come, Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and send Priscilla straight to hell as well.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Priscilla, Donald Trump has something to say to you.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it? Priscilla?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Which one is it? You know what, Priscilla? I don't know if you caught that, but we know how to determine whether you're here legally or not. You can just look at them.
Open borders with people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble, could be trouble.
And I think Priscilla, I think you could be trouble. I just looked at you, um, and so I see a lot of people out there, and they're going, "Well, Zeus, could you please lay off of us? We're struggling right now, Zeus, because this is what the Trump supporters are really thinking right now." And the answer is absolutely not. All right, if you don't like the way that I'm running my show, listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Ghostwriter, how are you?
Hey Zeus, how you doing, brother?
I'm all right. Did you vote for Trump?
No, I did not, brother.
Oh, well, I want to talk to one of these MAGA demons, but if before I do, is there anything you would like to say to them real quick? I might bring you back up though, but honestly, is there something you wanted to say?
Yeah, we gotta really get down and be serious about this whole thing, Zeus.
Got it. And
You
I'm
know,
I'm very serious.
we
There
we need we need some help, brother.
I will. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna help get the truth out there, and it's gonna hurt a little bit, right? Because these people they got a high tolerance for pain. All right, but they're already starting to feel the impacts. He's taking their wives from them, right? Uh oh. Uh oh, Ghost Rider. Oh my God, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The live. It looks like they're reporting Zeus. They say, "Well, Zeus, you're going a little too hard on the Trump supporters." All right. Well, you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. We got to keep it going. All right. But thank you, Ghost Rider. W in the chat for Ghost Rider. They placed a restriction on the live. They said, Zeus, you're going way too hard on these Trump supporters. All right. Well, sometimes you just got to get out here and get the truth going. All right. So, W's in the chat for Zeus. W's in the chat. All right, I appreciate it. All right, let's keep it going. All right, welcome, Ange. How are you doing, my good friend?
Oh, good morning. I'm okay. I won't take long. I just saw that out of the 1,200 that they're sending back, 600 of them do not have criminal records.
Oh, so doesn't that mean that's American citizens then, right? These are.
And
They,
Trump's lying. He said he was only sending back people with criminal records, and half of them do not have criminal records. So,
wow,
yeah.
wow. So what? It's just like they're just literally going after whoever they feel like it, right? That's what it sounds like to me.
They see the color of the skin. The
Mm.
color of the skin. And here's my thing. I won't take long. What I wanted to say is there's all this focus on sending them back, and anybody that knows me knows that I don't really care for conservative men, and I don't care what you guys say down there, because quite honestly, we have a big problem with mainly women being abused by their partner. We'll call that they call it
Yeah,
romantic partner.
yeah.
Every 9 seconds. Every 9 seconds.
Mm.
And we're worried about immigrants that might have a speeding ticket, and they always say, oh, they go up in race bait. Well, you know what? It's the truth. Those are the facts. I looked up the statistics.
Tell them, Ange. W in the chat for Ange. Let's go.
So why don't we worry a little bit more on what's going on right here? But it's not going to happen. Not
Mm.
with Donald Trump in office.
Nope.
It'll never happen. I don't
Mm.
care what you people down there say I'm race baiting. What else are we supposed to talk about? This is what he's doing.
That part.
If you have brown skin, he wants you out of here.
That
I
part.
watched a 5-year-old girl this morning crying as she was being ripped away from her father, who had no criminal record. What happens, Zeus? I thought we were sending back people with criminal records. Half of them do not have them. But you know what they have?
What do they have?
Brown skin. That's
That
what they
part.
have.
That
They sit there
part.
and they don't want us to freaking talk about that. But
She
this
knows
is what's
it.
going on.
W. Angela, she knows it because she's watching it just like you and I. Don't question what Angie's saying.
Go look it up too. What I said about that every 9 seconds, women in our country are being abused, and it's mostly by conservative men.
Sick.
So
Some
don't get
sick
me.
stuff.
It makes me ill to
Yeah.
think that they're sending these men home or that have done nothing.
Mm.
There are men here that are even unaliving their
Thank you.
romantic partners. I see it
Wow.
in the news every dang day.
Are they trying to deport these men?
Oh no, 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 no. Oh
Oh.
no. Some of them are they stay right here and they're being prosecuted and
Mm-hmm.
being let out. Oh here, go to anger management.
Oh,
Go to
that
anger
part.
management. And
Wow.
it really I'm sorry, it just sickens me that we don't talk about that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take care of that. We're gonna talk more about that too, Ange, because let's keep that going. We don't need these people to be hiding behind, the people that got a little complexion on them, right? No, expose it for what it is. It's them.
And what about my grocery prices? I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
not going down. They're not going down. I used to have an absolute, full refrigerator, Zeus. I've showed everybody.
Yeah.
It's just a little less full, you
The,
know?
the groceries, they're not going down, right? They're going up. I think that's what I hear you saying. I know I live in California, and I'm wondering, when is this going to end? When will the suffering end? He
What about the
promised us.
war? And what
Yeah.
about the war? 24
Oh.
hours. And that was going to be done, people. The only thing he's doing is trying to go after the people with brown skin.
Oh.
That's it. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
What about all the other promises? He's not
Yeah.
he's not trying to follow through with any of the promises. Just that. So you always
Yeah.
sit here, I hear, and then, oh, you're race baiting. I don't know what else to say because that's what's going on. That's the only thing you guys have focused on. You're not
Exactly.
looking at what's been happening here. And I don't even want to say her name because her dad doesn't want it said, but they go Lake and Riley, Lake and Riley, Lake and Riley. Well, guess what?
Right.
How about Molly Tibbetts, Molly Tibbetts, Molly Tibbetts? She was unalived under Donald Trump's administration in the same exact way, in the same exact manner, by an undocumented immigrant.
Wow. And they
So I don't like to
never say
politicize,
it.
but here we go.
Yeah.
I don't want to politicize the unaliving of these two young women, but it's happened under all these administrations. They don't want to talk about that though.
Yeah, they don't. They just want to sit here and continue to demonize anything that President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris did. These are some sick individuals out here.
They're already finding out too. They're at the FO part.
Yeah.
I won't say it because hi mom. I
Yeah.
don't want, but they are at the FO part already.
Yeah.
So
That part.
that's all I
Delaware.
wanted to say is we need to start thinking about the people right here that are
Thank
hurting
you.
our own people.
Thank
But
you. Thank
anyway,
you. We're
okay,
telling the
I'm
truth.
out. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me.
listen, ladies and gentlemen. W Ange in the chat. No lies detected. No lies detected. And while you were talking, I was looking at the MAGA men, the conservative men. It's so funny. They were just trying to say, "Oh, do you got a source for that?" Newsflash. We know you're violent. Look at what happened on January 6th. And by the way, did you hear about the news that recently came out about those people Trump pardoned? W Rick in the chat. Did you hear about the news? One of them is already unalive because they got into an altercation with law enforcement. And then you got another one doing some very, very nasty things that involved, underage people. So guess what? You know what we got to do? Let's give Donald Trump again another round of booze and shame because he shouldn't have pardoned these people because now they think they're above the law like he is.
Silence, you MAGA
All right, Put a one in the chat. If you are a Trump supporter, I'll bring you right on up here, and we will drill, baby, drill, and we'll get to the bottom of whatever the issues are that you believe are holding America back from being a great nation. Because supposedly we're in the golden age, but it doesn't feel so golden. It doesn't feel golden at all. Let's come on up here, JB. Welcome to the show. JB, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
What are you doing?
I'm showering, listening to this rhetoric.
Okay, JB. What I'll do is this, JB. Lord have mercy. You know what? I'm just going to take care of this because I don't know what the heck you were doing, but it sounded disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, let's warm up the lake of fire for JB. You feel embarrassed for his dog? He got into the box doing God knows what and where God knows that. Let's give him a huge round of boos and shame. That was sick.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. Oh my God. Yeah, that was some sick stuff. All right, but this is indicative of what a Trump supporter is like. These people don't live like normal people. They live like Neanderthals. All right. I don't know where you were at and how you did that. I don't even know how you figured out how to use TikTok, but it was sick. Put a one in the chat if you are a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here and we will take care of you. All right, put a one in the chat real quick. We don't got all day to do this show. All right, we don't got all day to do this same song and dance. We want to get you to a place of understanding, and we need to do it as fast as possible. All right. Let me see. Do we have any? I don't see anyone talks to them yet. Okay. Trump 2025. There's one right there. Put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. All right. Don't worry. This won't take long. I'm an expert at what I do. All right. These people know me. We're an expert. Okay. There. Okay. There you. There's one named Off Safety. You got to watch people with a name like this. Off Safety. You got to watch them. Come on up here, Off Safety, if you don't mind. Let's get straight to it. All right. Well, obviously they don't want to deal with Big Zeus, all right? Put a one in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. We will help you out, all right? Let's see. Who do we got? Put a one in. Look, another keyboard warrior. There he goes. Thank you. Jock, send me a request. I can't invite you, Jock. Go ahead and send me a request directly, and what I'll do is I'll hear you out, and you know what? I'll even give you 3 strikes. All right, we'll give them 3 strikes, and then we'll see what's going on. Oh, look at that slice of Pittsburgh. Don't go up. Because he knows what I'll do. And it's some of my best work, especially with what I did to you, Slice of Pittsburgh. You got in my box, and you basically conceded to all of my points. I said, this is so easy, all right? Easy like a Sunday morning, all right? Oh, JB, you're back. Oh, JB, you want to come back? JB, you must be out of the whatever you were in. Are you back?
You're such a punk.
Who?
You.
Why?
You know, it's funny when people's only strategy is to tear down others' houses to build up your own. And listening to you be so unburdened by what is, has been, and what will be is just such. I'm sad for you, sir. I really am.
Well, don't feel bad for me, honestly.
Because you live in California while the fucking governor.
Well, what could you not curse on my show?
Push, but to say.
Listen, we don't curse on this show. You know, I got my mom. Listen, unlike you.
So godly, so forgive me.
Thank you.
You're so godly of a man, you know, with all your fruits.
Well, they do call me Zeus, so Big Zeus, as a matter of fact. And you know,
I didn't mean Greek mythology.
Well, God is God. You know what I'm saying. I mean, let's not play the semantics game. Let's stay away from the identity politics. Let me tell you something.
Why are you so bothered by a guy that has done more in a week than these Neanderthals didn't do in 4 years? Why,
you know,
sir?
That's an excellent question, JB. That is an excellent question.
Why are you so unburdened by that?
Okay, that's an excellent question. First of all, I haven't seen not one executive order come out of that administration that's targeting lowering.
Colombia? What about Colombia? They bowed like a little bitch, didn't
they?
Hey, how you doing?
You see what I'm saying, JB? Could you not use that strong language here? There's a lot of people here that
I am strong. You're weak.
But do you think you're the strongest demon I've talked to on this
I'm
show?
not a demon. I'm a godly man.
No, no, no.
Oh
You're.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I've talked to a lot of stronger demons than you. So if I were you, I'd just stop it. All right.
Slap yourself twice, you pitch.
Now let me finish saying what I'm going to say to you because you don't want to listen. I'm going to tell you. I haven't seen one executive order come out that's targeted lowering the grocery. Okay. Okay. Well, so this is a crash out situation. What I'll do is this, JB. JB, you know what? You're a terrible individual. Yeah. You can try to sing as much as you want, but you can't even hold a note. So as far as I'm concerned, you're living in a world of delusion. And apparently, that little shower you took, you didn't take it long enough because you're still dirty. All right, I can see it and I can smell it. So what I'll do is this, JB. You know what'll get rid of that dirt that's all over you? You know what'll purge that demon out of you? Oh, lake of fire. So what I'll do is this. Let's warm up the lake of fire for that previous guest, JB, who got in my box and started crooning. He was crooning, right? He was trying to croon to Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't want you, JB, all right? He knows you're showered and everything, but he doesn't like it when you're clean. He likes it when you're dirty. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send him straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You guys got to step your game up, all right? You guys got to really, really try to actually have the conversation, all right? Because if you just try to do anything else, I'll be honest, I'm going to win every single time. It's my live. I'm going to win every time. I can do whatever I want to do. I can say, you know what, I've had enough. I'll drop you. If you choose not to have the conversation. These are serious things out here that are happening, ladies and gentlemen. Families are currently being torn apart. And you see these Trump supporters, they don't want to talk about that because they know the moment we start opening up that can of worms, guess who we get to blame? Their cult leader. So y'all need to start acting like y'all are serious about governing. You guys need to start acting like you're serious about getting this country to the so-called golden age and start answering the questions. All this childish stuff that you're doing, it's not working. American people, they want immediate relief for the things that you supposedly you have a mandate to do. So if you don't want to do that, you don't want to have a serious conversation.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, all right? Listen, I really am trying to get to the bottom of this. Why don't you all want to explain why the current administration is failing? You don't want to do it. You're radio silent. You don't want to come up here and brag about the mass deportations or nothing. Greetings.
Yeah, what's going on?
You voted for Donald Trump?
That's true. I did.
What part of the
I
country?
actually voted for Trump the first time. The second time, I didn't vote for Trump.
Why didn't you vote for him?
I voted for Biden just to show my counterparts that I would go for some type of diversity. But the honest truth is that this country has been more divided with Biden and Kamala than anybody else.
No.
And you know why? It's because the Democrats always talk a good game, but when it comes down to it, they really cause more division than anything.
Let me ask a question.
I mean, you can blame it on the white man, you could blame it on the black man, you could blame it on the Indian man, you could blame it to all these nationalities. But the honest truth, Democrats cause more division in this country than anybody else.
Is that based on proof? Or is that just based on your opinion?
Yeah, statistics show it.
What statistics?
No, it's not an opinion.
What statistics do you
Why,
have?
let me ask you something. Why do you think? Let me ask you something. Why do you think Kamala lost? You think she lost because people weren't ready for a vice president that was black? No. I tell you honestly, I think if Obama's wife would have ran, I think it would have been a higher chance of her winning.
Well, you're gonna ask
than
me a
Kamala.
question and then you answered it? What are you?
I do the same thing that the Democrats do.
I haven't done that.
Oh, okay. I know. I've seen your talk show. I've seen your platform.
Yeah,
and you have a
but-
tendency to ridicule people.
So you're
and kinda cut them
afraid.
off and mute them and
You're
ahead.
afraid to actually
I'll
have
let
the
you talk.
conversation. So you asked me, why do I think Kamala lost? There's the technology industrial complex President Biden warned us about. And I really do think we're in a situation right now where whoever has social media on their side, they're going to probably win. And if you look at it like that, because a lot of people don't follow the facts, right? They just kind of live their life, right? And if you look at it, X, that was a good example of
What
it.
kind of facts? What kind of facts are you talking about?
Okay, so listen, Donald Trump, is not qualified to be the president. Look at his record from the previous time he was in office, right? A sensible person, someone that's in their right mind would say, yeah, we don't put the person that's not qualified in a position of leadership like that, right? That's how it works in the real world. But for some
Let
strange
me ask you
reason,
something.
a bunch of people in this country.
Hold on. No, you said.
Well, I
said
wasn't
something.
done answering. I wasn't done
No,
answering.
but
I'm
I want
almost
you to
done.
elaborate what you mean by
Yeah.
he's not qualified.
Okay, great. So he was impeached twice, correct?
Okay, go ahead.
Does an impeachment mean a good thing or a bad thing in terms of a president?
I mean, Bill Clinton was impeached.
I didn't ask about Clinton.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons you could be impeached by.
But is it a good thing or a bad thing to be impeached? You're right. You could be impeached for a lot of reasons. But if you end up getting impeached and you're the president of this country, that's not a good thing.
And what was he impeached by? Impeached for, actually.
Okay. So withholding the aid from Ukraine, all right, trying to get dirt on President Biden, and then January 6th. And those are two serious issues that that happened under his administration. I didn't actually get into the whole COVID thing, right? But that happened under his watch. And you look at the devastation that caused.
I mean, I gotta admit the COVID thing. I think he handled a little wrong.
A little,
even though I voted for him.
A little.
I mean, I think
that's being nice.
Be honest. You know what it is that anything that comes from China, you're not. Sometimes people are unsure of what's coming out because they're kind of they're not allowed to talk. They're not allowed to say things. So you're not really too sure what's going on within that world.
But don't you think you're not too sure about what's happening?
Underestimated the situation.
Don't you think you don't really know what's happening, to be quite honest? You're going off of a lot of stuff. You have a lot of understanding about stuff, but a lot of it comes from Donald Trump and his rhetoric. I can tell by the way you're talking, the level of understanding you have about all of these things isn't quite in line with the facts. Does that make sense?
It's quite in line?
It's not quite in line with the facts, right? Because when you said it was a little... He didn't do right with the pandemic a little. I'm like, well, I don't know what you consider a little, but from the way that I see it, it's a lot, because he basically weakened our ability to respond to a crisis like that by going hardcore against everything Obama did. It was he went way too hard trying to say I'm not like Barack Obama, and it was reckless, and it's dangerous. And it demonstrates we're not really thinking about the big picture, right?
But let me ask you something. When you talk about the bigger picture, okay, let's talk about okay, when we talk about being reckless and we talk about not being for the people of America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you feel that when it comes to a president, he should do right by the people of America, right?
Yeah.
And when we talk about America and we talk about the Constitution, we talk about citizens of the American government. We're not talking about people who come here to visit, people who come here to sneak into the country, to actually take wealth away from other people. And what I mean by wealth is that you come into the country. Let me ask you something before I get into that, because I know people are big on the deportation, right?
That's an issue right now. That to me, that hit close to home, doesn't it? Does it hurt you? Are you impacted, or do you know anybody that may be impacted by the mass deportations?
I think when it comes to deportation, it's just like anything else. It's like Stephen A. Smith said. His friend came out and told him, and you know where I'm coming from, right?
I'm trying to keep up with you, honestly.
Oh, well, Stephen A. Smith said, there are people who come into this country and wait a long time to come into this country. They do it the right way. They wait into their country, no matter what country they're coming from. They wait and they put in paperwork to come into the country legally. They pay a lot of fees to come into this country, where other people are circumventing that and just say, you know what, I'm going to go into Mexico. I'm going to go through there. I'm going to go through a border. I'm going to sneak in and expect that American taxpayers to take care of me and take care of my family and
Correct.
take care of undocumented children that some of them come over the border by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Millions of kids live in Mexico. So imagine if they allow millions of kids come in here. But we obviously know that kids come in, by themselves over the border with other people. But
Mm-hmm.
are those kids being abused, or those kids being trafficked, human
So
trafficked? I
so
mean,
that's where your
when they
mind
come
is at.
into
So you see what your mind is doing, right? You see one particular issue, and then you're allowing your
no,
imagination to
it's a
kind of
big no,
carry.
it's not one particular issue. It's a big issue in America because we allow people to come into this country and then say that they're asylum seekers. Not everyone who
Are
comes
you
into this country is an asylum seeker. People come into this
okay?
country for very different reasons. Some people are
But
leaving their country because
but
they're a
Al
criminal in
Boogie,
their country, and
Al
they're go
Boogie.
ahead, go ahead.
This is what I mean. Where I can perceive what you understand about it based on how you are talking. Why not also address the people who are profiting from this and the businesses that
Profiting
are
that you're talking about people
the
who take
business
advantage.
the yes, there are businesses here in the United States of America that are actually creating the demand for those people, but you don't talk about
That is
that.
that
No, and I
that is
wasn't
true,
done.
but
So for
okay.
my understanding, I just can't help but understand how you could spend so much time blaming an individual and ignoring the actual systems at play. I would like for you to speak
But
on that a little
no,
bit more
there's two.
too,
Yeah, but there's
because
two.
honestly, these people that you're talking about, these people they don't have the financial resources, honestly, to do whatever it is you're trying to talk about, and you know that. If you're really paying attention to what's
But
happening in the
yeah,
world,
but when you're talking about the
you're
go
talking
ahead.
about people who cannot financially fight the system, but they're using whatever they got in the terms of their individual power to try to make their lives better. All right, and not all of them are bad people. Okay, and then
I
you
didn't say,
got
no, I didn't say anything about bad
okay,
people.
and then you got these businesses that are saying, all right, we need this kind of stuff done, and it's usually hard work, but for some strange reason the American people in this country, they're not willing to do that work.
But let me
And
ask
that
you
could be
something.
because the wages, right? They're not paying the American people what Americans feel they deserve to be paid, because we all believe that we all deserve at least 100,000 or more a year. That's just really what it is, all right. And
Yeah, but
if it's not that, then you know what? I can't pay my car note, I can't pay my rent, I can't buy eggs, and it's all that stuff. So
Zeus, let me ask you
there
something
needs to
because
be something. There needs to be people that do that work, and there's businesses that are profiting from that. And so my thing is, you got to stop demonizing the people. You all have done an outstanding job trying to blame people that are coming in that are less fortunate,
no,
but
no,
you're
no. But
ignoring the people who are actually profiting off of this,
Zeus,
that are
there's two.
creating these conditions.
Okay, but there's two parts to that. Because when you talk about wages and you talk about let's talk about the standards of wages. The standards of wages just started going up recently. They've been down for a long time, right? Now people, I think,
But
depending on
you
what
know what
state
you're not
no,
doing,
no,
though. You know what you're not doing. Every time I give you something to chew on, you go and start talking about something completely different. We're way
no, no.
away from
You
way
started
away
talking. No,
from
you
my
start. No, I'm
original
not going
talking
away.
point.
You're talking about wages. You're talking about people being taken advantage of. People who come here and work off the books. Do you know that most people who work off the books in this country sometimes benefit more than the people who actually pay taxes? And why is that? Because I'll be honest, when it comes to Mexicans, because I know a lot of Mexicans, a
Now we're
lot
getting
of them,
somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere.
I know a
You,
lot of Mexicans, and I
how do
know a
you
lot of
know them?
people with because I live in New York City.
Oh, okay,
I live
okay.
in New
But
York
that
City,
doesn't
and I
mean you
live in a
know them.
no. I live in a diversified community. I live in a neighborhood. There's all different type of people. There's mostly Hispanics that live in my neighborhood. Mexicans,
Are
Dominicans,
you of
Puerto
Hispanic
Ricans.
descent?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. So the thing about it is that
You
when you
know,
listen to me.
this is
You're shaking your head, but honestly, a lot of Hispanics voted for Trump because the thing about it is that what's important to one class might not be important to another class of people. And when I'm talking about what's important to me as a Puerto Rican might not be important to a Colombian, and what's important to a Colombian might not be important to a Dominican. So maybe the economy was important for somebody. Maybe the border was
Sir,
important for
that's a lot of
somebody.
that's a clever way of saying we're all unique. I get that. We all
No, no, no.
understand we're
I'm
all
not being.
we're
No,
all
I'm
unique,
talking
right?
about concerns.
Just because I'm a black person doesn't mean the next black person likes what I like. I don't want to get into that. What I am talking about
No, no,
is
I'm not
what
talking.
okay, what I'm talking about is
Right.
your values and your morals at this point. And whether you want to believe it or not, sir, what you did by voting for Donald Trump is in your worst interest. You actually believe you're better than the people you're talking to me about.
No,
And
I
this
don't
is
think I'm better than
you
anybody.
do.
Actually,
You do. Because right
no, no.
now, the previous guest, and she just came up here and said half of the people that have been deported, they weren't criminals.
How
All
does
right.
she
And
know
there's
that?
other
Wait, wait,
reports.
wait, 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 wait. How does she know that?
We look it up.
No, no.
So
Let me
so
tell you
this
something.
so this no,
She
no
said
Al Boogie
citizens.
Al
She
Boogie
said citizens were
Al
being
Boogie.
deported.
That's true too. That's what I was about to get to because I don't know if you heard what your leader said, but listen to what he said.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
I mean, not that part, but that's true.
Open borders.
Listen to what he said.
With people pouring in, some of whom, I won't get into it, but you can look at them and you can say, could be trouble.
You can look at them and you would say they could be trouble. That's all they're doing. It's the eye test, bro.
Oh yeah, that's. Let me ask you something.
No.
That is,
Let's
I
unpack
never.
the eye test. Let's
Let,
unpack the eye test. Can you?
okay.
Do you understand what that really means? This is why I say you voted for somebody that's going to come after you because you said you're Puerto Rican. Do you think?
Okay.
Do you think you don't look suspicious? Because if you don't think
Do I
so,
look? Do I look suspicious?
you're
Unless
darn
I'm
right
doing
you
something
do.
that. Unless I'm
I'm gonna be
doing
honest
something
with
that's
you.
suspicious.
I'm gonna be honest with you. And again, no, this is me not trying to be like picking on you, but you do look suspicious and you do sound suspicious, bro. And I'd hate to
Let me
say
ask you
that.
something.
I'd hate to say that.
Yeah, but I work in a government building. I actually work for the government. So, and my lady is black, and my lady is law enforcement. So, when it comes to crime in America, and it comes to what you're trying to
Can I stop you?
debate, and you're trying to bait me into a conversation about race, you're not doing it, brother.
Can I stop
Because
you?
the
Let me
real
stop you
truth
right there in
is
your
I
tracks.
see it all the time.
Let me stop you
I
right
see
there.
crime.
You think
I
you're
see
black?
crime
You think
being
that
committed.
woman that's black? You think that woman that's black and in law enforcement has higher status than a white guy in this country? Have you lost your ever
I'm not-
loving mind?
Let me ask you something.
You think she
Okay.
can protect you?
Okay.
This is crazy.
I was waiting for you to say that. Let me ask you: are you more likely to be killed by a black man? You're black yourself, or by a white man?
Well, go look at American
No, no.
history.
I'm asking. No,
Go
I'm
look at
asking you,
American
brother.
history.
Forget about history. I'm talking
Oh.
right now. I'm talking about right now. Forget about history. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm asking you: are you more likely to? You only make up. Black people only make 14% of the population. There's more white people in the United States. There's over 200 and probably 10 million white people in the country.
Sir,
And everybody else is
The answer to that question is going to blow your socks off. All right. Do you know
Yo,
how many
over
white
90
people
no.
in this country have terrorized black folks in this country for centuries?
I didn't
You don't
ask
know
that.
about
Forget
this?
about terrorizing.
So wait
I
a
asked
second.
you-
Wait a second. Wait
I
a
asked you
second.
specific question.
Wait a second. Wait a second. So you're going to ignore what white folks have done to black people in this country and ask
Yo,
me
my
a
man.
question about what goes on in the
You
communities?
see, you're already acting like a Democrat, brother. Now you're telling
Now
me
you're
about
you're
white
you're,
people.
you're
I didn't ask you about white
scared.
people.
You're scared to have the
Yeah,
conversation.
yo, brother, you're scared to have the. I
Okay,
ask you a
because I
specific
was-
question. I said, would you be more likely to be killed by your own black people or a white man?
A
That's
white
what I asked
man.
you.
I just gave you the answer. A
No,
white
you're not.
man.
90
Look at me. Look at me.
no,
Look at me.
90
Look. Wait.
90%
Wait.
of
Wait.
murders that are committed on
So
black
I'm gonna
on
hit
black
the
folks.
mute button. I'm gonna hit the mute button. He's sitting here talking to a black man right here on TikTok. He asked me a question about my existence, and I give him an answer, and he wants to turn around and tell me I'm wrong. You can't speak for me. You're not black. I'm the black guy.
Yo, bro,
Okay, so what
yo,
I need you to
brother,
do, what I need you to do is relax for a quick
Come on,
second.
man.
What I need you to do is relax.
Look
I
at-
live.
look
I
at the
live.
statistics.
Listen, no. Because look, if we were looking at statistics, you folks wouldn't have voted for Donald J. Trump. Because The statistics were in our favor. The
Where you
statistics were
from?
in
From
Joe Biden's.
California? You must come from California. You sound like a guy from California.
Yeah.
Where you from?
Yeah, you're right. Now let's
Yeah.
get back on
And how's your
topic.
community
Let's get
going?
back on topic.
How's your community going?
Doing
Your
great.
shops are closing up
Doing
because of the
great.
crime.
Doing great. But
Come
let me
on.
say this to you. Let me say this to you. I want to
Where
stick to the
exactly do
mass.
you
I
live
want to
at?
stick to the mass deportations because I understand you don't want to out yourself. And what you're doing is you're trying to
Let's
place
talk,
the
let's
issue.
talk about it.
You want to
Let's
start
talk
trying to
about it.
place the issue on Big Zeus, but Big Zeus is fine. W Zeus in the chat.
Oh, you see?
W Zeus in the chat. This guy, you're really squirming around the issue. What I wanted to point out is your woman, your wife. You said that was your wife, and she's black. Her status in this country doesn't eclipse that of a white man. So between her and
It
you,
doesn't matter.
listen.
As long as
Between
we get to pay our bills, I live in a nice co-op. I'm good, brother.
Yeah,
I got a nice house
but
in Florida. You're not telling me nothing, bro.
Yeah,
My lady makes $210,000 a year. I said I make over 6 figures myself. So I mean, you're not telling me much, bro.
you think
The-
your money
the
can?
re-
You think your money can
It
save
doesn't.
you?
It doesn't matter. I don't worry about other people's money. I worry about my money, and I
Yeah.
worry about my money not going into people who are not willing to take care of themselves. And when I'm talking about taking care of themselves, they come here. They have 4 or 5 children they can't support. They come here and they want to live off the government, and they come off here, and then they work off the books.
Did
Mind
you okay?
having
But you
4 or
are
5 kids.
you
Come on, man.
already
You talking
said that.
nonsense, bro.
You already said
Come on,
all of
Zeus.
that, and I would say this: there's evidence and there's reports you can go look at, and it explains how much these people come into the country and contribute to the country. I don't know if you're aware of that, but again, you don't believe nothing I say because you're the genius. You're
No, I
you're
kinda
you're the
believe certain
MAGA
things that you
expert.
say, but
Well,
I'm not
well,
gonna
well,
say that completely you're right about everything.
but what I don't like to do is to make it look like these people are just leeching off of the government when you ignore the reality. Like, no, these people are contributing to this country in significant ways. They go out and they spend money just like you and I. They actually help keep the cost of the stuff you and I like to buy low in some instances. So this narrative that you got going on up here is, to me, this is self-hatred. This is what somebody who looks in the mirror every day and says, I look better, I am better than that person. That's how they think. And I don't think like that. And it has nothing to do with me being a Democrat. It has everything to do with my values as a person. The issue here, sir,
I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just think that if you come into this, I don't mind.
You're not
people
listening.
coming into-
You're
Listen to me.
struggling. You're struggling
I
to at least.
concern
You're
myself with
struggling.
people who work hard and come into this country and want the best for their families and themselves.
They do.
Let's
They
talk
want
about-
those. What you just said. That's exactly what's going on with a majority of those folks who are coming in here. And for you to get on here and sit here and advocate for women to be, separated from their families and to be humiliated the way he's trying to fly those migrants back to Colombia and all this other stuff, for you to sit here as a person of Latin descent and say the things that you're saying, I don't really need to get into the nitty gritty about it. I can just tell you're not a nice person.
Let me.
You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite, and your wife.
Guarantee you.
And your wife.
I can.
I don't know
I've
what to
done
make
more
of
for
it.
my people and for your people than anybody else.
You
So
do
don't
what?
Tell me about you know me.
You what?
I've done more for your people and
my people.
Yeah, my people. Let me.
You
tell
said my
something.
people. What have you done for my people?
What do you mean? What I've done?
You said you've done more for.
I've given money. I've given food. Don't tell me what I've done. You don't know what I've done.
I don't know. So you think money and food?
Let me ask you something. Do you live by yourself?
I could.
I'm asking you. Do you live by yourself?
Let me ask you something.
No. Answer me a question. Do you live by yourself?
I'm done. How about this? This conversation, sir.
You know what?
You're not.
When you're willing
what are you trying to do?
People,
You're trying to go on a date with me?
When you're willing to put your people in your house, let me ask you: if somebody crawled into your house in the middle of the night, didn't want to leave,
that's
would you
happened
call the
before.
police, or you say, "Oh, just stay here"?
It depends on who it is. To be quite honest,
No,
depends
no,
on what
no,
I got
that's
going
not
on. That's not a bad. But here's the thing, Boogie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Come on, man.
When you're
It's
lovable,
nonsense, bro.
when you're a lovable person like Big Zeus, you can deal with stuff like that, and you're not too worried. But the thing is, when you're a hateful person like you live in
Hateful?
fear.
I'm not hateful at all.
You live in terror. And the funniest thing you said
Terror.
to me, listen, honestly, I got to think about this when I go to the gym. Like, this Latin person got up in my box and said, he's done more for my people than I have. And then on top of that, I had to think you got that from Donald Trump because he always brags about how much he's done for black people. So I think
Well,
you
Donald
have an
Trump.
identity crisis. You think you're
The
Donald
difference
Trump.
where
You think you're Donald Trump. This is
I'm the
some
working
sick
poor though.
stuff.
See, the difference is Donald Trump is worth $6 billion. I'm not worth $6 billion, but I've done a lot for people
Well,
that
what
I
about
don't
his
expect
color?
to. For
What
his
about his
color?
color compared to your color?
What about my color?
Yeah, what is his color compared to yours?
What do you mean? You're talking about being white? I live in a. Let me explain something to you. My family tree. My family tree. I have.
I just
Irish.
wanted to let you know he'll never accept you.
My stepfather's German. My stepfather's as white as Donald Trump. So what does that mean? Does that mean I'm better? No, it doesn't mean anything.
Well,
My family
but
tree
it
is, I
actually
have
it
black,
helps
I
me
got
understand
Italian,
it.
I got Jewish, I got all types of people in my family. The only thing I don't have in my family are Asian. That's the only thing I don't have in my family. But my family tree is big. So I can't come out and be racist or prejudiced towards certain people. But I am concerned about people who come into this country and commit crimes, then expect.
Are you concerned about the criminals here in the country?
Well, we don't need more criminals.
Oh,
we got criminals already here.
Now listen.
We don't need more criminals.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a question, and I really do need you to think about this. How do you have a problem with criminals, but then wrap your mind around the fact that you voted for a criminal? How does that? How do you and your wife talk about that? Because she's in law
Let me
enforcement.
ask you something. Okay, let's put it in perspective. When you talk about the 34 indictments that ended up being convictions, to me that was all a sham. And if you see the 34 convictions, they were all for the same thing. They were all fraud when it came to his business. Let me ask you.
You know what? Can I say this?
Wait. You're asking me something.
Can I?
When it comes to anybody who's made real money in this country, you don't.
Sir, can I? Let me stop you. Let me stop you for a quick second. What you just did is what we call you gave Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt.
I didn't give him the benefit of the doubt
with those 34 felonies. Why don't you do the same thing to your people? Why don't you give them people? Do you ever think that they perhaps may have had a miscarriage of justice, and the way that you're calling them criminals might not really be what it is? Why do you continue to get down on your knees and worship Donald Trump like this? At some point, bro, you got to have some dignity.
Wait,
you gotta have some dignity, bro. Get a backbone.
Let me ask you. I a couple of years ago, by mistake, we're
going on story time again, bro. Come on. I'm asking you, have a backbone. If you're going to really tell me you do things to help the community, here's a great opportunity.
Okay,
stand up for those people instead of attacking them.
Do you know what his fraud? You know what his fraud was?
Did I ask you if you were his criminal defense lawyer? I don't need you to be Trump's criminal defense lawyer.
Do you know what those? Do you know the fraud cases? Do you know what they involved? The hush money.
Okay.
The hush money involved them paying off a porn star.
Sir, you and I.
My man, you're race baiting, and it's not working, brother. It's not working. Let me explain something to you.
No.
The hush money.
No,
the hush money
I just got to move my show on. Listen, W. Rick in the chat. Listen, I got to move the show on. But I'll say this. I'll give you one quick chance. All right.
Go ahead. I want you to give me a chance.
Okay, I'll try to bring up something.
So bring up something. Won't you tell me about the '94 crime bill?
Hold on.
That he drafted that Carmelo.
Hold on. Hello, Ari. How are you doing?
Hey, good.
Hi, how are you? I'm all right. I'm having a very, very difficult time getting across to this guy. He's Puerto Rican descent. He continues to attack his people, but defend Donald Trump and his crimes. Is there anything you can assist us with in terms of this matter?
Yeah. So, Boogie, do you not believe that people should be investigated when they falsify their business records?
Come on, Boogie, hit unmute, please.
And that's not the same as writing a bad check, which is illegal if it's above a certain monetary amount.
Let me ask you, Adi, right?
Adi,
wait, hold on, Adi, you're asking me a question. When you're talking about crimes that were committed, the 34 indictments, what were they for? No, I'm asking you a question.
I
Boogie,
gave you the answer.
she asked a
Falsification of business
question. If you don't mind, for the sake of this show, please at least answer the question before you go off into a tangent.
I'm not going into a tangent. She asked
Okay.
a question.
What was her question?
Her question was that if I felt that he should have been prosecuted, he was prosecuted, and he was charged for his
That's not
crime.
what I asked.
That's
I'll
not
try
what she
again.
asked.
Do
What she
you
asked?
believe that falsification of business records should be investigated?
Yes.
Okay,
And he was
fantastic.
investigated
That
back
was
then.
his crime, was falsification of business records because he wrote 34 checks and then lied about what they were for. What he should have done, in all reality, is written on there or marked them down in his ledger as services rendered. But, the other thing is, like, 3 people signed those checks, right? We know it was Michael Cohen signed a good number of them. But did you realize that Donald Trump signed 11 of those checks himself?
Of course he has to, because it's his checks.
No,
It's his
he didn't
ledger.
have to, sir. He did not have
Well,
to. He had
the attorney
designated
could have done it if he
signees.
had power of attorney.
Nope. You have designated signees who can sign over checks when you have a business, and that's what he did. No, he signed 11 of those checks because he had to be involved in the process of paying Stormy Daniels off. The reason, do you understand why it was a
The only
felony
reason he
charge
wanted to
instead
pay
of
it
a
off because he
misdemeanor?
probably didn't want his wife to find out. But the honest truth, the Bill Clinton or anybody else,
Boogie. Again, what we're really struggling with here is when we just ask you simple questions. All right, what's the temperature outside? Please just tell us. Okay, it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Just that's how.
I already say yes.
Okay, well then let's move
asked me a
on.
question. I say yes. What does that have to do?
So
what does that have to do with the answer that I gave her? She asked me a question. I said yes.
Okay, let's
It
continue.
was up to the Democrats. They could have put him in jail. They chose not to. The Democrats are the ones who are the judges are Democrat. the aid.
I know what's going on here.
So
I know what's going on here.
Who chose not to give Donald Trump jail time?
Boogie.
I'm asking you a question. Who chose not to give him jail time?
Boogie. What we're trying to get you to understand is, listen, there is ways that the court system runs, and when it runs the way that it does, if there is evidence of a crime, you're going to get convicted. It has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans.
Okay, he got convicted.
Okay,
so why wasn't he put in jail?
Okay, now we're talking about something completely different.
No, you asked me if he should be investigated and if he should be, I guess, in a way, charged.
And you
he was found
agreed.
guilty.
And you agreed.
Yes.
And he's
Okay,
been found
now-
guilty. So the reason we're here is because you were trying to make it look like you have an issue with criminals, but you voted for one. Remember, that's how we got here. We're not here because of any other reason other than you've opened your mouth and said something that makes you look like a hypocrite, champ.
Not really. The government's the biggest criminal of all. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about criminals and criminality, I mean, you don't think this government does shady stuff? Come on. You're sleeping. You don't think Obama did shady stuff? You don't think Bill Clinton did shady stuff? Anybody who's powerful in government or any person who has power is shady.
Okay.
Who has done shady stuff.
Can I ask Ari a question? Let me ask Ari a follow-up question. All right, Ari, what do you think about what he's doing and saying? Is there any merit to what he's trying to say? I mean, what is he trying to get us to understand? I don't get it.
He's going off on a tangent. I was expecting him to go off on the thing of saying, because I've heard this lately, is no jail time, no crime, right? Because he didn't serve jail time. That's where I was expecting him to go. But
I did. I told you why wasn't he put in jail? He was convicted.
You see what you're doing? You're having a very difficult time embracing the truth. And every time, and you know how we know it. You know how we know, because as soon as Ari starts talking, you say something. That means the truth is surrounding you, and the jig is up, bro. Let her. Let's just. You and I have talked. I want to hear what Ari has to say. Please continue, Ari. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like it's a silly thing to say because several convicted criminals don't serve jail time because guess what? They already spent time in jail while they are awaiting trial, so they might get a commuted sentence. And that's basically what Donald Trump got, was a commuted sentence. And him complaining over and over and over again before the election even happened is why his sentencing was put off. And unfortunately, that started the whole thing of, well, he's not convicted yet because he hasn't been sentenced. And it's like, no, you are convicted once the jury finds you guilty in every state in the United States of America. You are sentenced when the judge gives you sentencing.
There you go.
But
WRE in the chat. WRE in the chat. No, Boogie. You've done enough damage. You and I have spoken. I'm trying to listen to what Ari has to say.
No,
Sir, control
I'm
yourself.
asking her a question.
What kind of question do you have to ask her? She's answering them, and you keep interrupting every time she gives an answer.
Well, she already mentioned a whole bunch of stuff. I'm asking
let her
her
finish.
what occupation does she have that concludes that she felt that Donald Trump, right, was giving a suspended sentence, right? Because
that's what it is. If you actually research the sentencing that Judge
I'm not
Merchan
asking
gave
research.
out,
I'm asking
if you looked up what the meaning of that sentencing was that he handed out, it was just that you are still convicted, you still did the crime. We are just not giving you jail time.
Thank you.
It didn't dissolve the sentencing, it didn't dissolve his felonies. It was actually reaffirming them, but saying that, okay, you are president of the United States. I guess you don't have to serve up to 4 years in prison for every single count of the 34 felony counts. Because that's the max sentencing that he could have gotten, was 4 years for each individual of the 34 counts.
There
that
you
he
go.
would have unalived naturally in prison.
There you go. There you go.
They probably took into consideration it was technically a first-time offense, but the reason why, I'm sure you don't even know this, Boogie, the reason why it was a felony is because he had other investigations pending in Georgia, Jack Smith, other across the board, and they just had to, there was one more that I can't remember offhand, but they just had to consider one of the three to be an additional crime.
There you
go.
go.
Did, right?
There you go.
And again, this was a unanimous verdict because you have to have a unanimous verdict in a criminal court.
That part.
Right? Of
Thank
12
you.
juries of his peers.
There you go. WRE in the chat. So, Al Boogie, listen up. Ari just cooked you, bro. Ari just cooked you. And you don't have any, do you have any facts to counter that, or do you just got opinion? Because what we got to do is, unfortunately, bro, we've gone above and beyond. And this is what I call DEI training. And you hate DEI training, but look at that. You're getting it right here, right now. Is there any other evidence you have to try to push back against us? Or is this going to be more of this merry-go-round circus act you got going on, bro? Which one is it? Oh, he's teacupping. All right, Ari, I think you destroyed him. So what we'll do is this, Ari. All right, you did an outstanding job. Boogie is out to lunch, ladies and gentlemen. He couldn't get his facts together fast enough. Ari cooked him like you wouldn't believe it. We're gonna go ahead and send him straight to hell. Hey, Boogie, you might want to boogie because this fire is hot, ladies and gentlemen. You know what to do. Thank you. What do you want to say about that previous guest, if you don't mind?
Unfortunately, it's a reflection of the majority of Trump voters. They remain willfully uneducated. They listen to their MAGA Mussolini, their MAGA Messiah, and hinged on every single word he said. Even today, when they're still defending the executive orders that he's signing that are targeting marginalized community, marginalized federal employees. And specifically what I found out about the... with them trying to, the executive order that's pending to be signed about removing the transgendered individuals from the military, which is about 14,000 individuals.
Wow.
Is that they're being discharged under an administrative discharge.
Wow.
Which means that they will not have access to VA benefits after they leave. It's not the same as a dishonorable discharge, but they will be denied access to VA benefits after they are removed from the military if this executive order is signed and then followed through on.
Wow.
But they don't care about the fact we're targeting less than 1% of the entire population of the United States. I'm sorry, didn't he say that wasn't his campaign promises was lowering the price of gas and the price of groceries? He did say that. But we're targeting less than 1% of the population on the very first day in office instead, with claiming two genders.
Get him, Ari. Get him, Ari. WRE in the chat. Yeah.
problem that I have the most, and
What's that?
I think a lot of people don't realize this, is for that executive order he signed saying that there are only two genders being recognized in the United States.
Right.
It's concerning because he specifically used the term in there a couple times, at conception.
Oh.
This is going to lead to the over 90 search results. If you go to congress.gov, if you limit it just to Congress 119, which is the current Congress,
right,
and you type in the word, I'm just going to say AB, we're not going to say the full word,
yeah,
but y'all know what it is.
Yeah,
if you type in that word right now you have over 90 search results, which has increased. When I first was looking at it on Friday, there was only 57 search results.
Wow.
Now there's 90. There's
Wow.
only one bill out of those 90 results that are anything to affirm access to AB at a federal level.
Wow.
Everything else is limiting it to some degree.
Wow.
Or trying to ban it outright. There is one at HR 722.
Get it out there. Thank you.
That they're trying to assign personhood at conception. What do we all think that means? And then you can look at South Carolina, where last week they introduced a bill to try to prison and give women the unalivement penalty
really?
for obtaining an AB in their state. It hasn't passed yet. It's passed their House, but it's still left up to their Senate.
Wow.
So this is what's happening, right? And we're talking about the man who said in his presidential debate, I wouldn't sign a national AB ban. There's no reason to. It was returned to the states like people wanted.
Yeah.
But they're introducing it into Congress. So for those MAGA out there who at least came up onto my live and said it a lot, where Congress couldn't do anything to ratify a woman's right to AB at a federal level.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, why do you think Republicans are pushing bills, over 90 search results, guys, pushing bills to ban it at a federal level if we couldn't do the reverse?
Wow. Good point. Good point. Get him, Ari. Well, listen, it was a pleasure to have you up here. All right. W's in the chat for Ari. Show us some love.
If you don't mind me saying, real quick, if
Go
you
ahead.
are a firm believer in women's rights, protecting civil rights or anything like that, follow me. I do live streams at least 5 times a week.
Let's go.
So hit that follow button, and I do educational videos. I'm sorry I'm not funny in my videos.
You're funny. No.
Sometimes.
You're funny. You're funny. But the problem is these people that should be watching it. They're not so bright upstairs, and so they don't see the humor in it. But you're very funny.
That's true.
WR, you're welcome. You're great. Look at these
Thank
people.
you. I'll let you move on with your show, but I'll be listening in, and if someone says something silly again, I'll request. But you've got a ton of educated people in your chat right now, including Gems of Jules.
Thank you.
I saw her tag me. She's amazing.
Thank you.
Again, guys, there's amazing people in this chat. I'm just glad that Zeus let me up for this one.
All right. Well, listen, you are so awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, WRE in the chat. No lies detected. Oh my gosh. It's always a pleasure, you ladies and gentlemen, when you get, visited by some of the most amazing content creators on this platform. It really is amazing because it shows that the truth is out there. We just got to keep working hard to get it out there. Now, I see some of you are triggered by the way that I'm running my show, especially those of you, like that previous guest, Boogie. How about this?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Put a 1 in the chat real quick. If you're a Trump supporter, I'll bring you right on up here. All right, we'll help you get your taxes lowered. We'll drill, baby, drill, and we'll help you see the light. But you got to be willing to be honest. Don't do what that previous guest did, Boogie did. All right. When we ask you serious questions, we need serious answers. What we do not want to end up doing is arguing and talking about stuff we had no intention of talking about. Oh, Ruby, you want to come up here and talk to Big Zeus? Go ahead. I sent you an invite. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, all right? I'll bring you. You want to race bait? No, you're the one that got up here and started talking about being married to a black woman. Knock it off, Boogie, and actually do us a huge favor. Just zip it. The rest of this show, just zip it. Ruby, I invited you up here. I don't think. Oh, there you are, Ruby. You wanted to come talk to Big Zeus.
Of course, Big Zeus. Of course, man. I miss you, man.
Rudy. I kept saying Ruby. Okay,
You're good, man.
what you miss me. My question is this: have you had enough yet? Because this is serious right now. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of suffering going on right now. We don't see any evidence that these grocery prices are being lowered. The egg prices are going through the roof. No executive orders coming from your cult leader about this stuff. What's going on?
Well, I mean, why would he? I mean, you guys took credit for 2017 and 2016. Obama supposedly created all that. So why? He's just waiting to let all this clear out, and then he's going to start fixing stuff. I mean, why
How
would
long? How long? How long, Rudy? Rudy, how long do we have to wait?
Probably a year. That way you guys don't take credit and don't say it was Obama, Bidenomics that had all this. That did it all.
Yeah. So in other words, you still haven't felt it enough. You still don't you haven't felt the pain yet where you're at.
Man, I'm good, bro.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I see right here. Hold on a quick second. Hold on. Because I think, it's now time to, in the best interest of time, let's talk to my good friend Shay. All right, Shay, you hear this guy right here. Clearly, he's still in the cult. He doesn't get it.
I mean,
What don't you get?
it's just funny. And the only reason we bring up is why haven't we gotten the egg prices down, the gas prices? It's because he ran on that, right? He said day one, all of this was going to start, right? He's going to end the war in Ukraine. That hadn't happened. So it's the same stuff we dealt with in his first term. I'm going to build a wall, make Mexico pay for it, So it's just, you guys believe everything he says out of his mouth. It's weird to us.
Yeah.
And then, he lies constantly. This whole thing about sending the military into California, and now they've turned on the water. You're welcome, California.
W Shay in the chat. That was a lie. Rudy, you believe that?
Do you believe he literally sent the military in, that Newsom and everybody doesn't know where the water valves are? Like, are we serious here?
They don't, I guess, because apparently the whole damn city burnt down. Apparently they don't. If it all burnt down, right? If there was no water, apparently they don't. If there was no water.
This can't be real, Zeus.
Come on.
Rudy.
This can't be real that the governor of California doesn't know where the water stuff is.
Shay asked a very serious question, Rudy. Do you believe he sent the military? You don't believe he did it?
I don't believe what did.
Listen to this one. Thank you, Canada. Yeah, there's a big faucet in Canada. You just go up there and turn it on.
Do you believe that faucet exists?
Well, do I believe the faucet exists? I mean, the one they're speaking about, the one Trump was speaking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be honest.
I don't know if it exists or not, but I mean, hello, where was the water? Now there's water.
The water was there, sir. The problem was the winds.
The winds was the problem?
Yeah, 100-mile-per-hour winds. You get a spark, and the winds just took off. They had the water. It's called up in the mountains and elevate. It's a scientific issue that they had going on. It was never a water supply. But you guys believe everything that comes out of his mouth. It's crazy to me.
I mean, Rudy, at a certain point, right? Reality has to set in, and the concern that I have right now is I don't really think you are capable of actually processing real things that are happening around you. Right?
Oh, I am. I'm processing.
So here's the deal. So we just get the fact check. The military didn't enter California. The federal government restarted federal water pumps after they were offline for maintenance for 3 days.
Wow, there you go.
State water supply in Southern California remains plentiful.
That's what they're calling it now, maintenance. God, they always got a fucking excuse.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There.
You don't think maintenance
They always have an
happens?
excuse.
Like,
It's
you literally think, like my sister was saying this stuff because she's, love her to death, but just lost in the sauce, right? So she
I mean, you guys
literally
always
was
have a
like,
good excuse. I mean, shit, maintenance.
Rudy,
Now. Wow.
here's the
Rudy,
problem with the
you got one more time to drop those words, and then I'm gonna have to move it on, bro. Really, you got to keep it clean. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for you to just pay attention and stop laughing about things that are real serious?
See? Nah, bro. I mean, it is serious, bro. I mean, come on. You guys always come up with all these excuses. I mean, Obama was 2017 was all Obama. Yeah, wow.
it was. He inherited a good economy. He also inherited a fantastic
This is
economy
Yeah, and he
under Biden.
inherited a horrible economy. So why would he fix it right now? So you guys can say it was Biden's economy.
It's not a horrible economy. In fact, the stock
Really?
market now is
Wow.
dipping under Trump. It was higher than ever under Biden. Hit 43,000, the highest ever under anybody, and now it's dipping again.
You hear this?
It's dipping again right now.
Rudy,
Yes.
Well, what's dipping? Because I'm in the food service. So what's dipping?
Do you follow the stock market?
No, I don't follow the stock market, but I'm
Why
in
are
the
you
food
questioning me?
industry. I'm in the food industry.
Okay. Why are
Rudy,
you questioning me?
Rudy.
You want to listen? I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I'm just
That
pointing
part.
out facts. I understand you voted for policy and I understand all that. It's not about that. The thing that we get real done with is everything out of Donald Trump's mouth is a lie, and y'all believe everything he says. Like, oh, I'm not part of 2025, Project 2025. I don't know anything about it. Day one, his EOs are every single thing that hits Project 2025.
W Shay in the chat. W Shay in the chat. Let's go.
That
So,
was
Rudy.
pretty awesome. That all that Project 25 stuff.
Just gonna
They
find
right
out.
away signed it all in.
He's
What
trying.
about turning off all the
7 or 8 or
SNAP
9 of them.
benefits? Now all the federal funding's being turned off at 5 o'clock today. I don't know if that's Eastern, Central. I don't know when.
And I just went through how that's going to impact you, Rudy. So, Rudy, congratulations. All your construction projects, they might get put on pause, especially if they're getting federal dollars. You can say goodbye to all the research funding and all the support to these public educational facilities out there that are helping educate the next generation of our workers. And on top of this, it's a threat to our national security, Rudy. And while this is all happening, you're sitting here with your feet up talking about you work in the food industry. Do you understand right now that because of the mass deportations, you're going to be directly impacted and it's in a harmful way? You might be out of a job, bro. Look at him. He went to the teacup. He's scared. They're scared.
How many of you have kids in public school right now? How many of you have kids on student loans right now from the federal government?
I don't.
How many
My
of
kid's
you?
8 years old.
I'm sorry.
My kid's 8 years old, so I'm good.
Is he in public school?
Yeah, he's got about 90,000 in the bank, so he should be okay. Is that enough for you in the bank for him to have?
No, not for college.
No.
Do you know how expensive
No,
college is?
no. What the heck are you?
No.
I'm
it's
good,
not.
man. I'm good.
Rudy.
I mean, it's good.
Rudy,
that you have that,
Rudy.
I
I depend on the
applaud you,
government.
man. I
I'm
applaud you
sorry.
for saving for
I'm
your kid.
sorry, but I don't depend on the government for my funding and for my
I
money.
don't either. I don't
My
either.
hard
But there's a
work-
lot
my
of
hard
people
work
that
has provided it for
do.
me.
You know how public education is run, sir? Do you understand the federal?
He's
funding?
lying.
Do you know how it works at all? I was an educator for many
I
years.
mean, he's going
I
to give
worked
it
in
back to
public
every
schools.
state, so every state can do it their own selves. I mean, that's awesome. That should be awesome for Zeus in California, because California is one of the highest grossing states.
Wow.
They'll be able to fund even better
Rudy,
stuff, right?
Rudy. You know what it is, bro?
California will take care of their own. There's no worry about that. It's those of us who live in the red states
Yeah.
that we got
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to me like there's a huge disconnect from humanity going on with you. You really do believe that $90,000 you have, you think that's going to last you how many years? How many years you think that 90,000 is going to last you? Because, you know, where I'm from, we can go through that in real fast. All right. And what you're not doing is you're not preparing the next generation. You're not preparing the next generation, sir, in order to be, you know, productive citizens in this country. All right. You're basically saying, you know what, I don't need to worry about you because I'm good. But you're ignoring the reality that, you know what, we're all connected in one way or another. This food industry that you're in, what kind of food industry are you in? What do you do?
We sell beef and produce and a lot of other stuff to a lot of grocery stores.
Yeah, well, imagine people can't even afford to buy it now. Do you think that's good for business or no?
The stores will buy it regardless. I mean, during COVID, I
Who are
was
they going to
working
sell it to
7
if people
hours.
can't buy it?
Do you
Do you not understand what's about to happen, bro? This is sad. Because
People can't buy it. I mean,
yeah,
Well, he's not too well. Yeah. So if you're selling, so I used to work in wine distribution, so it's sort of the
he doesn't
same
get it.
in what you're doing. So you're selling to the grocery stores, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
to freaking restaurants and to a lot of places. I
Yeah,
mean, you
but
got
if people
high-profile
if people
restaurants.
cannot afford to go out to eat at restaurants because things are costing more, right? And they can't afford to go buy these groceries, this means your sales or whatever you're doing, they're going to slow down. The money that you believe is coming in isn't going to be what it is. You don't see it coming. This is
This
so
time of the
bizarre
year is
because you
really
sound
slow,
so
Zeus.
intelligent.
This time of the year is really slow, Zeus. It's always it always has been. We already know why.
Do you think that the workforce
He doesn't get it. I got
being
it.
deported is going to help with the produce pricing and all of
Yeah.
that kind of stuff? Dairy pricing, meat pricing.
You know, until I see a mass deportation of agricultural workers, then I'll worry about it. Okay.
Okay, that's
So
what.
now
And
it's
so,
all criminals.
All
It's all
right.
criminals
okay,
that are being
and that's what I needed you to do, bro.
and look,
Let me.
you
That's what
talk-
I
You'll
needed
have
you
to
to
talk
do.
to us
I
about it
let
when
you
it
both talk.
happens,
I
because
let you
it's
both
going to
talk.
happen.
I
But
let
you-
you both talk.
No,
Hey,
well,
let me talk. I
what
mean,
do
you
you?
saw Claudia. You saw Claudia Chabon saying that she was gonna welcome all her Mexicans back, all her brother Mexicans, and the second Trump loaded up a plane to send it back, she refused it. Why is that? My God, all these criminals are headed back here. Why would I want them back? I don't want those kind of brothers back.
They're not deporting criminals. Have you
Yes,
figured
they
that
are.
out yet?
Yes, they are. That's why she refused the plane.
No.
She saw the rap list on everybody, and she said, "Oh hell no, I don't want them back."
Not everybody is criminals.
God.
There's
Yeah, okay.
lots of reporting people getting swept up in this that are not criminals.
Okay. So
I seen all these reports. I seen all these TikTok lives that people are showing that, oh my God, ISIS here and there and there, but they're not even doing anything. They're checking on criminal people that have criminal backgrounds. I have so many clients that are still illegals in this country that have businesses, and none of their business have gotten hit up.
Not yet. They've only been at
Okay,
it for a
so
week.
Rudy,
Just wait.
If they're
I,
criminals, they will get hit up.
Rudy, I like your energy. I like your energy, and so what I'll do is I'm going to put you in the queue, all right? Because I got to move on. But I want to check your temperature in a few more weeks because I got on this show today asking.
Good.
I got on this show asking, have you had enough yet of the sadists? Right? We have a president who's a sadist who enjoys people suffering,
He is. I agree.
and you too. And
I
so
voted for Biden and I voted for Hillary.
no,
like
but
I said,
you've been compromised. You've been compromised,
I have.
and you've lost your morals.
Years. I mean, these past 4 years, our country being put second, third, last.
Okay.
Good.
What I'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen, Rudy.
Hard-earned money is going to other people, not our country.
Yeah, and I find it interesting. Do you have a lot of clients that are legal immigrants? You're not
ladies
gonna
and
call
gentlemen.
ICE on them, are you?
Ladies and
I have a
gentlemen,
ton
this is
Are you
Rudy.
calling ICE on them?
This is Rudy. Rudy, I gotta move it on, but I get where you're at. We'll talk again in about a week or two when your business is tanking. Because guess what, Rudy? We're heading towards a 1929 style depression, and you're on your way there. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Sad,
Yeah.
Shay.
It is. It's really, and we're just watching this over and over and over. We're going to hear a lot more coming up. Going, I voted for him, and he deported my wife. I voted for him, and he deported. And it just, we're going to sit here, and we talk about that HB 1484 out of Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
I mean, pull it up and read that. In section 3, first of all, the first sections talk about doing bounty hunters, and the third section says that anybody that is living in Mississippi without papers, right,
Yep.
are going to be given life imprisonment.
That part.
Life imprisonment. Now, this has been introduced to
W,
the
Doc.
floor. They don't
Yes.
expect it to pass.
Yep.
But the problem is that these little red states, Louisiana gonna pop up with this, Texas will pop up with, this becomes this catalyst.
Yeah.
And so once these kind of ideas, that's how Roe v. Wade got taken out, right? So there were all these little catalytic kind of like bills being introduced into these state houses to a point where
Good morning.
they could finally bring it up to the Supreme Court. Now, the thing that y'all all need to be paying attention to, and I talked to DJ on Angie's Live, you were there about this stuff.
Talk to him.
That they need to be aware of is Alabama makes millions of dollars off of their convict leasing, right?
Yeah.
So convict leasing started right at the end of the Civil War, right? So now they have all their free labor. Slaves are free. So how do we get free labor again, right?
There you go.
So when a black man may do a slight infraction, right, by chewing bubble gum or something stupid, just something made up completely, they would grab them and lock them up in prison for life and do the chain gangs. And so this became a thing that they would do throughout the late 1800s and well into the 1900s, right?
Yeah.
They're still doing it to this day. Be very aware that the prison system is the modern day slavery, not the people picking your crops. They get paid for and they go home to their families.
That part.
They choose to do that work.
There
right?
you go.
So
Tell them,
please
Shay.
Stop saying we are in support of modern day slavery of immigrant workers and migrant workers working in our factories and working on our farms, right?
There you go.
They get paid and it is something that they do, right? Black codes, exactly, OC. So this is what they're trying to do. If we deport most of them, then we've got to figure out again another free labor. So why don't we go ahead and lock them up in prison instead of deporting them?
Then boom.
Watch how this starts to fall. It's like a domino effect. So what we've been trying to warn you about, and you guys don't want to listen because you think we're race-bait and you're thinking all this.
No, we're not.
No, we're educated. We've seen this throughout history, right? When you start doing a set of black laws, or a set of laws, right, against a certain group of people, like Adolf Schmittler did, right, in Germany. If you
There you go.
get some history, then you'd understand that it took 10 years for him to seize that kind of power. And over a slow period of time to commit all these laws against Jews and gay people and immigrants and all of that stuff. So you need to understand everybody's okay with it because it's not hitting their doors yet, right?
Exactly.
So this is what it becomes. It's not about criminals in our country. We have enough criminals in our country, okay?
Tell them.
They're telling you it's the criminals and using Lake and Riley, and they're doing all this stuff to get you scared, get you fearful, get you
and
worried.
surrendering your rights. You're
And
surrendering your rights because you're
all of a sudden-
afraid.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're just all of a sudden all these little bills are going to start popping up to say, oh, it's really not about that. We're doing this instead. And that's why they're going after DEI. They're going after, the Labor Department. He said, I want all workplace discrimination taken out. He told the Labor Department to do that.
Wow.
So you women that are working in these offices and your boss decides to get a little feely and you can't bring a lawsuit against your boss any longer and you lose your job, say you're a single mom or your family depends on your income, you can't just go get another job. I said, just go get another job. Yeah, that's not that easy when you got rent due, okay?
Yeah.
So you have to deal with certain things. This is the thing, guys, that you need to understand that these DEI and all this, the EEO, it's not about black people. It's about everyone. And in fact, white women are the number one benefactors of all of this.
Wow.
So you guys are hurting your own selves.
Tell them, Shay.
Through saying, oh, all of this needs to change and it's all about, DEI has always been merit-based. Companies can be lazy and managers can be lazy to try to hit certain things and make it look good. That happens no matter what the situations are.
Yep.
But that's not the problem with DEI. And thank you to Costco. Thanks to Ben and Jerry. By the way, y'all, I'm going to end with this. Go follow Ben and Jerry's here on TikTok, y'all.
We'll go do that. Tell them, Shay.
Anyway, love you guys in the kingdom.
All right.
Yeah, we're just going to keep watching this. They're going to be waking up and going, I did, whoa.
I got myself into a nasty situation. Yeah. You're right. You're right. W Shay in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, guys, everyone.
That part. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we're having more and more serious conversations with these Trump supporters, and one of the most impressive things going on right now is the level of denial that I see happening out here. They think this is a game. These Trump supporters, I've brought two up, and they think this is some funny stuff going on, and you're going, you know what? What part of the world are you living in right now? Oh, I got $90,000. I'm good. No, they can come take the 90,000 out of your bank, bro. All they got to do is slap you with a case. See, this is the problem with you Trump supporters, especially to my Latin brothers and sisters who continue to vote for this stuff. You don't understand. There's no safety in wealth. Do you know what they did to Black Wall Street? Look at the document. It came out right before Biden left. They explained very clearly how they went into the community, destroyed it, and took the wealth, and they didn't give it back. So he's sitting there saying, "I got 90,000. My child's good." Ladies and gentlemen, this is some sick stuff. If you're a Trump supporter, please put a 1 in the chat. You think your money is going to save you? They think their money is going to save them. Right there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah. Yeah. They think their money is going to save them. They think where they live at. Oh, this guy, he lives in New York, a Democrat state. Oh, so I'm good. My wife is black. She's a cop, right? And I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because what I don't want is those people coming into the border to make me look bad. This is some sad stuff you all have gotten yourselves into. Put a 1 in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. No repatriate. Okay, who do we got? No repatriations for you all. Someone said bring Roscoe. Well, Roscoe, come on up here real quick. We got a little bit of time, if you don't mind. Come on up here, and we will help you get this figured out. All right, seriously, Roscoe. Roscoe doesn't want to come up here. Roscoe understands what's going on. All right, who do we have next? Robin, did you vote for Donald Trump? Robin, did you vote for Donald Trump? Robin, I see you put a 1 in the chat. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Robin, you want to come up here and you want to have an honest conversation about why you did what you did if you voted for Trump? All right. Put a 1 in the chat. Oh, you said no. Okay, Robin knows. No, Robin, you put a 1 in there, but I don't think you did. All right. I get it. You didn't vote for Donald Trump. Yes, put a 1 in the chat real quick if you voted for Donald Trump. By the way, the live has been it has been restricted. All right, and I didn't restart it. We kind of rocked and rolled. I'd say we did pretty good for a restricted live, right, ladies and gentlemen? Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, and we'll bring you right on up here, and we will help you take care of what's going on out there. All right, but you got to be willing to be honest. All right, a lot of people are trying to get answers. When are the egg prices going to go down? All right, when are the grocery prices going to go down? When is the utility bill? When is all of that stuff going to go down? I get it. You guys are obsessed. You're obsessed with going after people of color, especially the immigrants. All right, but for some strange reason, you all are radio silent when it comes to addressing these real issues. No time soon? Wow. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Home costs, yeah. Where are all of the so-called Trump supporters? You know they're out here, and they were so thrilled before I got on. Right, this guy with a black wife, she's gonna save him. No, she's gonna leave him. We know that. All right, we'll give it a few more. All right. There are more important things to get done. Okay, yeah, I agree with you, Grumpy. I agree with you. All right. Let me go back to the box. All right. I want to talk to who do we have here? Roosevelt. All right, come on up here if you don't mind. Oh my goodness. Why? Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking. All right. Who do we got? This is pitiful. Good morning. Good morning. Who do we got, Roosevelt? How are you doing? Roosevelt, greetings. Well, that didn't go over so well. That did not go over so well. Let's bring up our next panelist. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go. Good morning, Takesha.
Hey, Zeus.
How are you?
I'm okay. Zeus.
Yes.
I really feel like I'm at a David Copperfield show. With all the illusions and delusions that these people have in their minds, I feel like David Copperfield with a cape over his head, and he taking it off and revealing himself, and the people just go wild because they
Wow.
ain't paid attention. And then else David did. That's what Donald Trump is doing to these people.
Wow.
He's selling them a magic show. They not paying attention to the trick behind the magic. They just impressed with the magic, Zeus.
W, Takesha. You're right.
Zeus, and mostly it's the people that got to leave here.
Yeah.
Have you not noticed that they've been the dominant people on these lives talking about they folks like they ain't gotta go to?
That's the crazy part. But they got the money. They got the.
Zeus,
They're married to the black woman. They safe, right?
Zeus,
Talk to him.
as a black woman,
Uh-oh.
she gonna let you go. Uh-huh. And you ain't gonna be over there 2 weeks, folks. She got Jeffrey moving
Oh.
his drawers into your spot.
Oh, W,
Stop, baby.
Takesha.
Stop.
W, Takesha.
We move on. We move on, sir.
You don't think
That
there's.
lady ain't gonna stick by you.
Kabira, knock it
That
out.
gorilla glue don't gonna be the wore out for you. Put your suitcase down and it start rocking. Don't believe the hype, sir.
But he's in love, and Donald Trump. He loves Donald Trump, and he convinced her that Trump is going to protect them, and they live in a Democrat state, and they're not breaking any laws. Takesha.
He
So,
said he said they live in Florida. He said they got a beautiful home in Florida.
oh,
That's
that's
what
not
he
a.
says.
I thought he was from New York, but you know what? Maybe he was.
He said they got a beautiful home in Florida.
Mm-mm.
They got lots of money. See, she makes over $200,000, and he was finna lie about his, but he just changed it to six figures.
Doesn't that
Oh,
seem
I was paying
suspicious?
attention.
Doesn't that seem suspicious though? Considering that fact,
Zeus,
it seems a little suspicious now that you bring it up. That's a lot of money for him.
Zeus, the
What
folks
does he
ain't
do?
making that. They ain't making that kind of money. Zeus, stop it, Zeus.
Yeah, not
Stop it,
legally. You don't think they're making that kind of money legally?
Zeus. The only way they making that kind of money is if his wife, was what Melania was before she got in the office.
Oh, Takesha, now that's not nice.
I'm
That's not
sorry.
nice.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
And he the pimp. That's the only way they making that kind of money, Zeus. He's lying.
Ooh.
He's lying, Zeus.
But why would he get on TikTok and lie like that? I mean, you would
Why
think.
not? Why do Donald Trump keep getting on live social and lying?
Mm,
You know what
yeah.
he said about y'all water. The military came over there and turned the water on, Zeus. Did you
Wow.
see any military in your state?
I did not see any military at all, so I was
I was
concerned.
waiting for the videos, because people video everything. So
Yeah.
I was looking through TikTok to see the videos of the military turning on water in
You
y'all
didn't see
state.
it?
I didn't see one video, Zeus.
Wow. Well, that means he's lying, Takesha, and this is the sad
Every
part.
day, all day. And that's why we say he's the great divider in chief.
That
Because he
part.
says stuff to coddle his base. They believe it. When we try to get them common sense information, they don't believe it. And that keeps us divided. Just like Zeus, when he did what he did for the military, told me he gonna reinstate all those people that did not take the shot. Let me tell you what Donald Trump is doing.
What are you doing?
He's getting all the people he can to owe him for
Mmm.
him doing something for them. So when he has his dictatorship, he got these people that gotta be loyal to him and do what he say. That's
Wow.
all he's setting up his regime.
Mmm.
That's what y'all better pay attention. That's what he's doing, Zeus. Why are you instating people that don't want to follow the rules of the military? They're gonna get in there, Zeus. They not gonna do what them sergeants and stuff tell them to do because now they're entitled.
There you go.
We didn't have to do this, so guess what? We ain't gonna have to do that. But
Uh.
whatever Trump tells us to do, that's what we gonna do because he's the one that cared enough to put us back in and let us overlook the contract we signed with this military.
Wow.
Pay attention now.
W, Takesha, in the chat. She broke it down. And we all
That's
see
all
it.
he doing, Zeus.
We all see it. This is what he's doing. Do you think these people will ever stand up to him? Do you think they'll grow a backbone at any point? Because this is where we're at right now. These people will get up here and just humiliate themselves for this guy. And it just
No, they're
doesn't
not.
make sense.
They're not gonna be unloyal. That's just like a woman who was. I keep talking about abusive relationship because that's what America is in. It's in an abusive relationship. That's just like a woman who was in an abusive relationship and a man comes in and tricks her for 2 years like he's different. And he only shows himself in that third year.
Yeah.
But by
Ooh.
that time, he got her so hooked that she's loyal to him and she can't see that he's abusing her too. That's how America is right now.
Stockholm right now. This Stockholm syndrome right
I'm
now.
telling you, Zeus, that's what we going through right now. The immigrants, they were mistreated by him the first time.
Yep.
Biden cared, but the whole time Biden was caring, the old man was still running around at rallies lying to him about Biden.
Yeah.
And so they voted to get back under that same person that
Yep.
did them bad the first time.
That's wild.
That's
That's
their
wild.
mindset, Zeus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the plan. Get all the people you can to be as loyal to you as you can. So when you start your dictatorship, you got people already on board to do what you want them to do.
There you go. Tell them,
And
Takesha.
that's the plan, Zeus.
Well,
Y'all watch it now.
We got it.
I'm gonna go and put my glasses on so I can finish watching Paternity Court.
Alrighty then, W
All right,
Takesha in the chat. And as always, it's a pleasure to have you up here and to get the truth out here because they need it whether they know it or not. Seriously.
They need it, Zeus, but they not gonna take it.
There you go. There
All
you
right,
go.
Zeus.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, Takesha in the chat. No lies detected. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a show of force today. Despite the odds, we still got the truth out there. Are there any more Trump supporters out there? Please put a 1 in the chat real quick. Let me see if we got any more brave soldiers out there that want to get up here and try to defend the indefensible. Oh my goodness. Oh, there he is right there. Okay, all right. All right, you've been begging me. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I'll do this real quick. Yes.
What's going on there, Zeus?
Why do you keep coming to my show? I didn't ask you to do
I
that.
love the comedy show.
But
I like how these supposed experts come up and try to school people.
Uh,
Nobody's an expert on anything, Zeus, but you treat them like they are.
Well, they actually are very knowledgeable. But here's the
They
thing.
might be knowledgeable, but they're not experts.
But here's the thing. The reason I decided to go ahead and see where you're at, because what I'm doing is I'm going to keep these little videos of you post the election, and then at a certain point we're going to have to go back and rewatch it and see the change, the transition. Not that kind of transition, but you're going to end up, sir, I'm going to be honest with you. You're not going to be singing this same song in a few weeks. Maybe
What song
in a
am I
few months.
singing?
Well, right now you think you guys are winning. Am I correct?
I voted for Trump.
What has he done? And what has he done for you so far? If you don't
What's he
mind?
done for you? What did Biden
Can't
do
answer
for
the-
you?
Oh, he did a whole lot, but remember,
Trump hasn't- okay, I'll answer the
Biden
question. Trump
is
hasn't
not
done
president.
anything
What is
for me.
Donald
I didn't
Trump?
elect him to do something for me.
So
I
what
didn't
has he
elect
done?
him to do something for me.
So what has he
You guys,
done?
you guys want people to do stuff for you. I want the person.
Well,
to do
we are
stuff
the
for them.
people.
Hold on. You asked me a question. I'm answering it. I want the elected official to do what needs to be done for the country.
Okay,
Not
what has he
you.
done? What has he
Not
done
me.
for the country, in your opinion, that's going to
Got
be
us out of
benefit?
the World Health Organization for one.
Oh, that helps you.
Yes.
How does that help you?
Because then we're not sponsoring.
Look at his
we're not the
eyes.
biggest
Look at his
sponsor of
eyes.
something again.
Huh?
We're always whatever we're involved in, we have to be the biggest sponsors of it. So let
Okay.
other countries sponsor World Health Organization. I gotta shut my door. I'll be right back.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you see when we ask the real question, the eyes they do that wondering thing. So yeah, so getting us out of the World Health Organization, in your opinion, that actually enhances our national security in the event something like a pandemic were to strike again. In your opinion, you think that help? That's very, very helpful.
I was fine during the.
What about this one? What about pausing all federal government funding for research and things like our infrastructure and education? How does that help you?
For infrastructure, if the infrastructure is like bridges, parks, and things like that, I'm fine with it. But if it's freezing them to because of handouts going to people, I'm okay with that.
But it's not just doing the handouts; it's doing all of the other stuff that you said that's going to be an issue. So my question is, how do you feel about that? Because
We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Well, we have to wait.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll deal with it when it happens.
You don't consider that to be kind of dangerous and stuff like that for you? Okay.
Because this is what I tell my tenants all the time. When my tenants come to me with because I have elderly and disabled tenants, when they come to me and they're like, "What am I supposed to do about this? What has it happened yet? No. Then you can't do anything about it. You have to wait until it happens and deal with it then."
So there is a such thing as preventative maintenance. You don't.
How can you do preventative maintenance on something you don't know that's going to happen?
Well, for instance, you have a vehicle, you get it, the oil changed here and there, periodically. You get your brakes done before something happens.
The motor's gonna wait. You know something's gonna happen to your motor because of wear and tear. You know something's gonna happen because of wear and tear.
So we should run into the wall and then do something, in your opinion.
No, I'm saying you guys, you have this fear mongering of we're headed to a 1929 style depression. You don't know that. That's your opinion.
Well, actually, there's a lot of things you can look at.
Opinion.
No. Actually,
it's your opinion.
No. So here's the thing, right? There's a concept. I'm going to try to use it in a mathematical way. So I want to say you could take the limit of a function or sort of something like that. You ever heard of that concept? It's a mathematical thing. They do it in calculus.
I've heard something about it.
So you can actually look at an equation, right? And you can determine how the equation behaves, depending on what number you put into the equation, and that's how they do things like a graph, right? For instance, the equation of a line, x could be anything, but eventually you can see the direction the line is going.
Right.
So I don't necessarily believe you actually have to run into the wall in order to kind of get an idea about where things are going to end up.
I'm not saying that either.
Well, you kind of did.
No.
So the 1929 style depression, I think it sticks out in your mind, and I actually like that it sticks out because that means you're thinking about it. But
no, I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out how you know that we're headed that way.
Okay, so we've talked about it quite a bit. Number one, he's talking about doing things like tariffs, right? Blanket tariffs.
Right.
They make
we used to live off of tariffs, but go ahead.
But who pays the tariffs?
It doesn't matter. We used to live off of tariffs. We did when they started income tax. They got rid of the tariffs. You get rid of income tax and you do tariffs, we'll be fine.
Doesn't that seem ridiculous in a way?
No.
Because let's be honest, who pays the tariffs?
We do.
Okay, who pays the income taxes?
We do. So get rid of income tax and we'd be fine.
Because you're going to pay tariffs? It seems like we're just washing money, bro, wasting time.
That's your opinion.
No, that's your opinion.
We used to live off of tariffs in this country.
But who pays them?
It doesn't. Okay. I already answered that question, but at its time in history, because everybody seems to be a history expert on here. So we used to live off of tariffs.
Do you understand what you're arguing for?
I'm arguing, but we don't know what's going to happen. We have to wait and see.
Okay. I mean, the funniest thing is you actually bravely come up here and do this routine, and I really think you don't know what you're doing. Even when it comes to the tenants, you said, well, it could happen. Well, sir, my furnace is leaking gas right now, and it smells. And you're going. Oh, well, has it blown up yet? No.
Hold on. If it is leaking gas, then I can do something about it. But if a tenant comes to me and says, I have a feeling my furnace is going to start leaking gas, well, I can't do anything about that.
Well,
go ahead.
You don't have an ability to go check and say, well, let me go and double check that this could be potentially an issue. You don't think? Oh, well, maybe.
I can look and
let me look at when it's been maintenance.
I can
perhaps
look to see if it's leaking gas, but if it's not leaking gas, there's nothing I can do to make sure it doesn't leak gas.
When was the last time the furnace was maintained? When was the last time you replaced the valves? You can't do anything to say, well, you know what? I haven't replaced the valves on that for a long time. Let me go ahead and do that real quick before it actually gets to the place.
So waste money on something that doesn't need to be done.
And so that's what we call preventative maintenance. No, wasting money would be to allow it to leak, and then you got a bigger issue than it was when you first started. All right. So Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. Once again, you've proven everything I need to know about MAGA.
No, you haven't.
You guys are hell bent on self destruction. All right, because yeah,
No.
it's cheap just to go replace the valve. How much is it? $5 in your labor. Your labor should be free. All right, and you should have
My
just
labor is not free.
no. You should have just went and did it. All right.
So waste money on something that doesn't need to be done. Got it. Okay.
I can't. All right, listen. I gotta move it on, Tiny Tank
Wait,
Top.
I do have a serious question for you. How many more Nike products are you going to show?
Oh, okay. Don't worry. What I'll do is I'll show it like this. You want to know?
No, because we know you. We know Nike pays you. You have everything you'd have to do with is Nike. Nike hat, Nike shirt, Nike glasses. Can you admit that you're sponsored? Can you admit it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Tiny Tank Top Tim has left the building. Unfortunately, his mind is playing tricks on him, and you got to ask yourself, is he on something? All right. Well, I don't know if he is, but you know what? Maybe this will help it out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. You know what it is. A brother.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You know, Zeus, that car you drive, you must be getting an endorsement from the manufacturer because you drive that kind of car. I mean, come on, bro. Relax. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, today has been quite an eventful show. It's been quite interesting, to be quite honest. The live definitely was it was flagged earlier, and so I would say, you know, we've done an outstanding job keeping the temperature where it's at and not getting a little too out of control. Yeah, the glasses are Prada, and so according to Tiny Tank Tim Tom, I'm getting a sponsorship from Prada. Well, so you know we got a lot going on. All right, it's the most weirdest thing I've ever seen. Yes, Kabira, are you there? Are you there? I know we got a special visit once again. All right. We're a little past the hour, but you know, we'll get it in. All right. We got a few more minutes if you don't mind. All right. Time for some more wisdom. All right. Good morning, Kabira. Nice to see you. Yeah, he's very jealous of Big Zeus. How are you doing, sis?
What's up, Zeus?
What's going on? I'm all right. I am all right. You know, we got some folks out here who still are struggling to process what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah, especially Tiny Tank Top Tim. He's
Yeah,
a joke, right? You
absolutely.
always want to plan. You know, even in an emergency situation, you want to plan before the emergency happened, right?
Yeah.
So even when he talked about senior citizens, what is it won't harm anything to put that elderly person at peace. If you say, you know what, Miss Jones, let me go up there and check it out for you.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, that gives Miss Jones a peace of mind. You know what I mean?
But he would rather argue with him about it.
It was fine.
I
Exactly.
think.
You know, go,
Yeah.
Miss Jones. There's nothing wrong with it. Well, just to satisfy her curiosity, help her out. Just, you know, it's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
But he
Besides,
thinks
he wasn't looking
that.
like he's doing too much anything. Go ahead.
Oh my God, he doesn't think all of this stuff could actually backfire on him because you know he doesn't think he could miss something perhaps and then things go downhill. He just doesn't seem like a very good person when it comes to this. But yet he probably pats himself on the back every day and says, you know, honey, I did an outstanding job at work today.
Exactly. It's nothing worse than when the snowball starts out small on top of the hill. Then the next thing you know, you have a catastrophe as it's rolling down and wiping out everything along the way. So
There you go.
know, you got to plan. You have to plan.
Yeah.
But I have my
Yeah.
mother here. She
Oh, where is she at? Let's get some more wisdom, all right, from grandmother, all right? Where is she at? Let's go.
Good morning.
Hello.
James.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm
What was that? I think the signal went out. You're fine right now, okay? Are you there?
No, I heard something on television this morning.
Can you hear Zeus?
It's going in and
Can
out,
you
the
hear me?
connection.
Can you hear her?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, it was going in and out.
I heard something on TV this morning
Talk
just
to him.
before I came listening, and it said that Trump is asking that all aid be stopped. All aid.
Mm,
Now,
all aid be stopped.
the-
Yes, he
all
is.
aid, that's not just for disasters, but student loan, everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
I immediately become suspicious of the big steal.
Mm.
Why would he want all aid to be stopped? That's
Why?
gazillions of dollars.
Wow.
So to me, the way
Yeah.
I think he is planning on taking some of that money for himself and a lot of that money for his zillionaire friends.
Wow.
What do you all think?
Well, now that you bring that up, I know he fired those IG officials, those inspector generals, right? He fired them. We know he's cleaning out all the people who went after him in the DOJ. And when you combine it with that, you know what? Out of your mouth comes the truth.
So I am really concerned about that.
Wow.
That's something I think people should be concerned about. And the other
Wow.
thing that concerns me is why is it when the Congress writes a law, they don't put some teeth in it? In
Mm.
other words, the law that they just passed about firing people 30-day notice.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't they say, and if you do this, you will get so many years imprisonment or
Yeah.
so many dollars fine? But that's where our Constitution is flawed. It doesn't have any teeth in it.
There's no teeth in it
And,
when they write these
and,
laws. Yeah.
and for
Wow.
years and years, the American people and its lawmakers,
Yeah.
they were fairly honest. They followed and obeyed the Constitution without any teeth.
Mm.
But along comes Trump, and he found every one of them, and he breaks every constitutional law.
Ain't that
Because to me, a law isn't a law if it doesn't have any teeth.
bank? Thank you. No,
Yeah.
no lies detected. And you and I, we didn't talk offline for you to come up here and say that. You came to that conclusion on your own. Am I right?
So far as I know,
There you go. There you go. Grandma. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I've been talking all day long, and I really want to get inside, your mind and see what your opinion is about what's happening. You hearing about the mass deportations out here? You hear that happening?
The mass deportations.
oh yes, I hear that. And that's awful. Just
But
that's horrible.
but why would people who clearly are from that community still support Donald Trump? Can you help make that make sense? Because I'm still trying to figure that one out. What do you think about
Because
that?
well, it's like this. There are people who have eyes and see not, have
Oh,
ears and hear not, can read, but they don't understand the printed word. In other words, they're just plain ignorant about the
oh,
law.
oh. W Granny in the chat. W Granny in the chat. You, I can't argue. I can't even question that because it makes perfect sense to me, and so that's what it is. Because they really do believe they are safe, and I don't get it. I don't understand why they think they're safe when we're all trying to help them understand. In the United States, we've done that before, and it didn't work out that well.
No, it didn't, and it won't in the future. Present, it's
Boom.
not.
Wow. Wow, wow. I mean, you know what you did? You didn't basically hit the nail right on the head. So what advice would you continue to give us all if you don't mind? Because it's getting real hard. You know, some of these people, they say, can't we just all get along?
Well, yes, we can if we want to.
Mm.
You know, you have to want to do something, and
Mm.
you have to believe that you can do it.
Mm.
You know, you take my family.
Yeah.
I have a small family. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I have a son, a daughter, and me.
Okay, okay.
And believe it or not,
Mm-hmm.
we are of three different religious types. And we get
Wow.
along beautifully. We live together, we get along. One's a
Oh.
Muslim, one's a Christian, and the other's an atheist. And
Wow.
believe it or not, we live in the same house, we share, we love each other, but
Yeah.
we respect each other's beliefs.
There you go. We got to do that. You don't demonize each other in that house, because there's a lot of reasons to do that, right? Who didn't take out the trash?
Whoever passes by and sees it,
Amen.
no problem.
Amen.
We don't. Nobody wants trash in the house, so somebody's passing by, they pick it up and take it out.
Amen. Tell them W Granny in the chat. No lies
And usually, that's not me, because I've been around the sun 93 times, and I'm not about to try picking up the trash to
detected.
take it out.
Hey, they don't pay you enough to do it. I get it. I get it. They don't pay you enough to do it. So yeah, it falls on the other two, and they better do it, all right, because and you know what? You can be and believe whatever you want. I totally get it. I totally get it. But you're right, and someone put it in the chat. Love conquers all. I do believe that, and maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe we do need to work on trying to have love for those on the other side. And I got nervous saying that, to be quite honest, but it's something that I will think about. All right, because it is what it is.
That's right. Life is
There you
what
go.
it is.
Thank you. Well, listen.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, listen. Zeus has to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. But you dropped another a huge nugget of wisdom on us. All right, and I appreciate you seriously. All right.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate you having me.
You're welcome, and you keep on coming on back here, all right? Because we need to keep you in the battle right now. We're trying to save this great country of ours, and we need your wisdom, all right?
All right.
All righty then. W Granny in the chat, W Kabira in the chat. This is what I like to do. Oh my! Now that's some homework for all of us. We got to work on trying to have love for each other, and I'm gonna be honest with all of you. It's going to be a struggle for Big Zeus. But I'll try something, but it'll be a struggle. You know what? Sometimes you got to love people enough to give them a whooping. What's that?
I agree with what my mother says to a point, but with MAGA, I'm trying hard, Zeus. I'm trying hard to understand them. I even try to have some MAGA associates. You understand what
I'm with you.
A couple of them I have turned, and that they have regretted their vote. They're beginning to see the light, but it's hard for people who, like you said, what's the purpose of this mass deportation? We tried this with the what did Eisenhower
Operation WB. Yeah.
And that was a stain in our history.
Yep.
And the sad part about it is most MAGA people, once again, planning, they don't see things in front of them.
Nope.
They just see right where they're standing, right? So let's look at the problems that these things can cause. It's just like the thing I'm on right now is we know Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade.
Correct.
You know, Trump is with the stroke of the pen on DEI, and now he's looking at restricting access to birth control. So now let's connect the dots. What position are we putting women in, right?
Very, very bad position.
Thomas wants to revisit Greenwald versus Connecticut. All right.
Right.
So Greenwald versus Connecticut was about a married couple. It's their business if they want to use contraceptive.
Right. Yeah.
But Thomas, he wants to get rid of that ruling. So even someone who's married or not married, you have no right to contraceptive.
Bingo. Right? Tell them.
So these are things we need to look at, and let's face it, Thomas is MAGA.
Thank you.
You know.
Tell them.
So this is they don't see what position they put the American people in. They're just looking at that. Apparently, eggs wasn't really the issue. The issue was brown people.
Amen. Tell them, Kabir, and we know it. All right.
So I'm gonna let you go, Zeus, because I know you have fairs to attend in the kingdom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And but as always, thank you for coming up here, and also for bringing Granny. All right. I appreciate it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Kabira, all right, there you go, W. Kabira in the chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, Zeus has to get up out of here, all right? We survived, even though they flagged the live, we survived, all right? And you all deserve a round of applause. I'll be back tomorrow, same Zeus time, same Zeus channel, all right? Thank you to all of my subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. Also, those of you who have found the Cash App, thank you so much. All right, I don't get to say it enough. I truly, truly appreciate it. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame, and this goes out to all of the Zeus haters out there, and they know exactly who they are. They get out here and they promote misinformation and disinformation. They're terrible when it comes to preventative maintenance, right? Instead of helping the lady out whose furnace might need to be repaired, they say, you know what? Why not just let it blow up? And then we'll go from there. Why not just run into the brick wall and then we'll go from there? These people, trust me when I tell you this, folks. These folks they're out of their mind, and they're the worst of the worst. Let's give them a huge round of booze and shame. You heard them say it.
Silence, you MAGA.
I'll be back on tomorrow, same Zeus time, same Zeus channel, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great one, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we gotta do. Hey, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. You like my Nike glasses? Yeah, they mailed them to me. Believe it? Yeah, and you know, I said, Tiny Tank Top Tim, he has a problem when you guys send me this kind of stuff. So make sure you send it and put it in a special package with Zeus written all over it. And so that's what they did. Yeah, and they said, I'm pretty sure this will trigger him and all of his supporters. No problem, Kabir. Anytime. It's actually a pleasure to have her. Seriously. We survived. I'll be back tomorrow. Same Zeus time. Same Zeus channel. Gotta connect so fast. Right, Rick? In Zeus we trust. WN. My favorite morning show. Thank you, Sneaky Fingers. We've been through quite a lot, my brother. Have a great one. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Now I know we gotta get to we're gonna get to the drill, baby drill, and then we're out of here.
We're gonna be for these guys.
Here it goes.
We're gonna take out so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
See you, Vice.
Insane asylums.
All right.
You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill.
Right, Greg.
Drill was a crap.
Hey, let's go.
You know she's gonna
Johnny turns. And then all of a sudden,
About a year to half ago, when she was getting killed in the past, she said,
I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical. She can't help it. And we're gonna end that. And we will frack, and drill, baby, drill.
We're gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna be drilling so deep. We're gonna be full. We're gonna drill. We're gonna take out
so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylum. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal.
drill, baby, drill. We're gonna
Frack.
drill, baby, drill. Like it's Hannibal Lecter.
We're gonna drill, baby, drill. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Put those hands up. We're gonna drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal Lecter. Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter?
We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Drill, 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 baby, drill,
You didn't think I was gonna catch that, but I caught it, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal.
Drill, 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 baby, drill. We're gonna be drill, ladies. Drill, we're gonna drill down laughter. Baby, drill
like it's Hannibal Lecter time. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. We're gonna lower your taxes. Deep insane asylums. You know they go crazy when I say the late great Hannibal. Y'all better do it.
Drill, baby, drill.
We're gonna keep on drilling, baby, and you know what that means, all right? Y'all be safe out there, especially those of you who you know they're coming for, especially, you know, because ICE is out there. Don't worry, when they come, you say, hey, we're gonna drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Take care and stay safe in those TikTok streets.